Okay, system errors out of the way and
Yeah.
everything running. Yeah, I did mention there's something on the map I'm surprised people haven't actually noticed yet.
I have a load bar in like the UI now, so.
Sweet.
Well, the load bar at the bottom is the turn tracker thing.
No, I meant like the top bar.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I have the scene. Yeah.
What is on the map?
I know, it's like a scavenger hunt now.
Yep.
I'm just
Yeah.
looking.
The only, I mean, is it the Gorgoth token?
No.
No.
Something that normally would be wrong. But I'm starting to digress. I'll let y'all sit on that one for a minute. You'll figure it out sooner or later anyway.
Oh, is it?
Hey, Jade.
Is it?
The name
is
of
it
it not
not-
Nimbar?
Nope.
Well, not Nimbar's stats are like 121 health, like 13 AC.
Oh, jeez.
He's got all the spell slots listed under not Nimbar.
I think I
Why
probably
does
just
he
copied
have two
Nimbar.
left hands?
Ah, there it is.
What?
What was it?
A point of
He has two
inspiration
left
to
hands.
Dan.
What was it? I missed it.
Two left hands.
Two left hands.
Oh, two left. Oh.
Look at his hands. They're mirrored, so
Yep.
two left hands.
Yep.
Yeah. The
Yeah, no, I would never notice that.
I actually
What
thought,
he's-
John, you'd be the first to notice it. I thought you'd be like, wait a second, that's off. That's not right.
Yeah, when
Usually
he's
you've got-
clasping when he's clasping the boat, his thumbs aren't pointing in towards each other. So.
No, they're,
Yeah.
that's two left hands in the water.
No,
You
I was
know
mean-
what?
that's a
Do
visual
we think
effect.
that there's
That's
a
not
second
my
one?
special.
Who's to say that he only has two hands?
Well, then it turns out
That's
he
true.
raises his
God.
right hand, and the other Kraken comes in from behind and surfaces.
Oh, no!
We're going to die.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm
we'll
in
just use
danger.
Teleport. Wait a minute. Never mind.
Oh shit, we're in the freaking 8th layer. Don't teleport. Well, it might be safer.
Just remember, I have word of recall. I can take us back to where we came in. Just fun fact.
But wouldn't that does that not get affected by the teleportation jank that's happening right now?
Oh
I
shit.
don't know. It's from my sword.
Okay, but does that? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't.
That's
we
certainly
don't know.
a goddammit moment.
I was thinking like,
DM's
By
not
the
playing
way-
fair. You're in hell.
Does anyone need inspiration? Jade has it.
do I have inspiration right now?
I've got it.
That's
I
not
have
the correct character sheet. What the heck? Hold on.
I don't have inspiration.
Oh, it's just a tab. Bellamy could take it then.
Yeah.
Courtney, you're my inspiration.
Oh.
Ew.
Flux over by the boss. Can I actually do that? Does that give me advantage? The DM's just like, no. Oh, fudge, I left the drive unplugged. That's half my problems here.
Oh boy.
There we go. Too many hard drives. I mean, I say that, but with all the 4K video, I kind of need it. Frick, they take up space. So Jade, technical issues aside, systems running and everything working fine, giant Kraken in front of you. What's the plan, my assassin man?
I guess we're going to fight it.
Alright, what sword you drawing out?
Give me a second to go through the 50 I have over here. Honeysuckle.
And, as per the norm, as your hand reaches for Honeysickle, you can hear a voice speaking up, and the hilt of a sword poking out the bag. You're really going to hit a titan with a toothpick. Alright, if you like to die. A shame. It would have been a fun enemy to annihilate.
Boy.
as the Sword of Kaz seems to take issue with you not using it in this fight.
It's a very pushy sword.
It likes to kill things.
Yeah, my issue with the Sword of Kaz is it does not have the finesse property. I cannot sneak attack with it.
Yeah.
To which the sword casually replies, I don't?
Don't trust it. It's lying to you.
Yeah.
Jade, as much as I'd like to say whether or not it's lying to you, and as much as John wants to quickly say it's lying to you, there's only one real true way to know. You do an insight check. Or I mean, you could just draw Honeysickle and be done with it.
Yeah.
You know how this sword is.
Sword is evil. So it didn't even technically say that it did, it just kind of cast doubt, like, in a vague way. So, like, so even if it didn't, it wouldn't technically be lying either, right? So,
Nah, Honeysickle.
yeah. I know your trick, sword.
A 19. So you're just swinging at one of the tentacles on the ship? Well, I suppose the backhand here on the ship that's holding the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever's in range.
Alrighty. As you give a swing to a local shot, keeping in mind you can fly in case something comes up. Oh shoot, I closed the clock on myself. It always disappears with escape. I gotta figure out why. As you take a swing with your sword, go ahead and roll your damage as... Oh, was a 19 to hit?
Yeah.
A 19 is a hit.
Okay. I guess it's big enough that unless its armor is that good, it's gonna be not too hard to hit.
So his AC is 18 or 19. We can know that much.
The
That's
size
11
categories.
points.
Size categories do typically mean lower AC because big target.
Well, that's the thing. The second they put the word gargantuan on a creature, it literally means ignore size categories. You're in for a fun fight. Like this.
And however, it does have damage resistance. So.
And add on nasty things like that.
I bet it also has. So it's gonna be a fun game for Dimbar and I figuring out. Okay, what elements works on this thing?
Oh, and now I'm going to have some fun. I used to charge up a Honeysickle, granting myself invisibility, and I will bonus action hide.
By the way, the one thing I will suggest is let's not use lightning.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was thinking about testing it, but I did figure lightning was one that it would probably have either.
He's sitting there lightning storming us. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being good.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely. I think I'll probably hold lightning bolt until we've tried other things and we've exhausted other options, right? But
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's a good first choice.
Okay. I'm going to.
Oh, Jade, don't forget, you gotta make a roll for your high check.
Stealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
$35.
Alrighty. So, as you turn invisible and make a motion to shift and turn away, you notice something horrifying. The tentacle you just stabbed is still moving towards you, still targeting you. It would appear as though, even though you've turned invisible, it can still see you.
Oh shit.
So the creature would definitely have some form of vision to see things that are invisible. Whether that's some form of just magical vision or true sight is a completely different thing to be seen. Unfortunately, you can't hide from a creature that can see you clearly.
This is another fight I'm gonna get 0 mileage out of mirror image.
I appreciate the shenanigans though, because if you got that off, you would have been able to do some stuff. But if you're going to hide in this fight, you need cover. And it's going to be very, very tricky. Because you've just confirmed that the enemy's vision is well beyond that of just vision.
Yeah.
And that's the end for Jade's turn, hey?
Yeah.
Because at the end of your turn, it's going to use another one of its legendary actions, and Flummonoxus, you suddenly feel the air rushing across your face. As the tentacle flings you, like a rock, you fly straight into the boat.
Ow.
Fly doesn't affect this at all.
Not at all. Fling is one of its attacks. It throws you 60 feet. Actually, I'm gonna be honest though, as much as I want to say at the boat, it's actually a random direction, so I have to do a quick roll. And thanks to the imaginary nature of the rolls, I can actually do a roll of 360 degrees.
Fly doesn't grant you, a fly speed doesn't grant you, like, the ability to use it as a reaction, so you can't, like, use it to break a fall, right? So, which is an issue where, you know, if you're using fly often, it comes up. It has to be your turn to be able to redirect your course.
And don't mind me, I'm just calculating here.
Yeah, it's like throwing in 246. But what's that?
Shit, it's really close. I got 246 on a 1d360. And if you're going 360, 9, 18, 270, 246, which puts you about here. Whoa, I actually got really close to hitting it on the random, but the angle's not quite perfect. Flux, you are simply thrown. No damage to you. This time. It can control where it throws, of course. I mean, it's smart enough. But it just flings you 60 feet that away, and I'm just going to make sure you went that far. One more. You're still airborne. However, you're knocked prone due to this maneuver of his. However, you're also flying, and with flight comes hover. I believe the fly spell gives hover, doesn't it, John?
I don't think it does.
I don't remember it saying that. Let me.
It essentially has a feature limit
You
of
touch a willing creature. Creature gains the flight speed of 60 feet during the duration. The spell ends. The target falls still afloat unless it can stop the flow.
Duration was...
Does not say anything about hover.
Oh, I thought for sure fly gave a hover. Never mind.
Yeah, that's
Flux,
what I was getting.
You now fall a further 10 feet because, well, you fell prone. And you splash harmlessly into the water. You might have a brief moment where you're thinking, oh crap, my character is weighed down with like 250 pounds of weapons and 150 pounds of heavy plate armor and she's wearing scale, like, oh my god. Don't worry. D&D doesn't give much of a crap. When it comes down to swimming, you got no troubles. Oh,
Back in my day, you used to have like double disadvantage or double penalties for that.
But is it your armor check? Yeah, your armor check penalty was
Yep.
double.
Times twice for swimming.
Yeah, yeah. Is there were real big consequences to wearing heavy armor. Like your armor check penalty was pretty bad with like full plate.
Actually,
Anyone else remember arcane spell failure chance?
Oh yeah. Well,
Jillian, I am going to say as well, because I have to add on, because wasn't quite finished on that one. Your character, even though she's prone and lying face up in the water, gets the absolute most probably horrifying thing as her feet touch solid beneath her. So you're not technically underwater, as you're standing on the body of the Kraken.
Cool.
Courtney, are you okay?
I'm doing all right.
Given the sheer size of it, if you had fallen in some other area, you'd actually be on water, but it's directly below you. Now, I am going to do a quick post here in the general, with a quick description of underwater combat. I'm also going to be really, really cruel and post up a description of suffocation. Just in case.
Oh.
But don't worry, you're not gonna have much trouble holding your breath. Like, the numbers are like, oh, combat's 6 seconds rounds? Yeah, don't even worry, the players have no trouble, they get minutes. So...
Your constitution ability is what affects it, right?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I figure that Flux will be okay.
Any creature can hold their breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus their con modifier. Minimum 30 seconds. So, at least 5 rounds underwater for holding your breath. It'd be different if you fell underwater while unconscious. I'd immediately start having be suffocation. You're out of breath. You're choking. And you can survive a number of rounds equal to your con mod if you're choking. Minimum of 1 round. A few things like that for underwater. And meanwhile, Jillian's like, I don't like that you're saying all these underwater things, Alan. I'm sure anyway. But, Bellamy. What you got planned, Courtney?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna bonus action activate, oh, hold on, what's it called? Bardin's Pendant?
Ooh.
And then, for my action, is Flex within 30 feet of me?
I think so. Let me give a quick measure. Yeah, she's within
Well, I
30
measured
feet.
it. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if she was underwater or anything.
She's right at the water layer. My rule is pretty simple. Unless you have a critical fall, you won't go below the water line in my games when you fall into the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, I'm sitting on top of the Kraken?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? I was gonna sink, but I couldn't.
Ooh, boy. Okay. And then as my action, I'll cast Beacon of Hope.
Jillian, is he finished his stick already?
Yeah,
What?
I think. Yeah.
And
He
I'll
goes through the
get
short ones really quick now.
everyone, all of us. And
Bellamy's like, we need a lighthouse.
yep.
Pardon
And
me.
as a free action, I would like to panic.
Now, just keep in mind, your Beacon of Hope requires concentration.
Yeah, what spell
Yes.
did she cast? I don't see.
Bless also requires concentration, so if you cast Beacon, it'll stop Bless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, did I cast Bless?
Ages
Last
ago.
Week, yeah.
Yeah, you cast it last week.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
Though, we have a saying about Beacon of Hope. It's called bringing the bacon. That whole max points of healing from healing means Flux gets 6 health every turn.
Yeah.
Among things. Like, I listed because it's overpowered.
So Bless. To an attack roll or saving throw. Okay, what? Oh, what do people like more, Bless or Beacon of Hope?
Post Beacon of Hope in the
It's already in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Oh,
You have to scroll down.
no, it's not on mine. I'm gonna have to reload again then. It's not giving me anything.
Basically, you get advantage on Wisdom saving throws and Death saving throws, and you regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing.
No, we'll point out we're still under the effects of a hero's feast, which gives us advantage on Wisdom saving throws.
Oh,
Advantage on
okay,
breath
alright,
saving
then I
throws
will...
and max healing. That's really what you're rolling on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already get advantage on Wisdom saves, and then you get a D4 on attack rolls and saving throws from Bless. Okay. then I won't cast Beacon of Hope.
Save the bacon for now.
Yeah.
But that's a really neat spell.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah. I will, okay. You know what? I'm just, oh no, that's concentration too. Shit! Okay,
It's the thing I hate about 5D spellcasting.
I'm gonna, oh god, I'm sorry guys, I'm panicked. Okay, alright. I'm gonna do, boy. I'm gonna do, 6th level Phantasmal Killer. No, that's concentration too. Shit.
All the good spells are concentration.
Yeah. This is honestly, I kind of hate concentration as a mechanic. I get why it exists, but like,
As a DM, I love it for these reasons.
Is any part of a Kraken within touching distance of me?
Oh god, yeah. You got tentacles grabbing the ship, so.
I'm gonna slap him and do an inflict wounds.
Ooh.
good old reliable.
At 6th level, I guess. Yeah, I'll give that a little try. We'll see how that goes.
Woohoo, look at that. Big 45. That's a nice, strong hit. Because a 21 is a hit. For 45 points of damage.
Okay. And now I will free action panic. Oh man.
Alright,
Kraken's looking a little cranky. And at the end of her turn, before Isaac can go, the Kraken looks so mad.
I got a little bit confused there for a second. Are we? So we're still blessed, right? We didn't do Beacon of Hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
No bacon
Okay,
yet.
cool. Gotcha.
I'm gonna pull Beacon of Hope off the map for now, just so it's out there. As Bellamy finishes, another large tentacle rises up, swings above your head, and comes down on your ship, sledgehammering across the deck. The middle of your boat, vessel, the 4 squares that, let me mark, here, have now become difficult terrain, while the tentacle is wrapped tightly around your vessel. On top of that, due to the Kraken's nature as a siege monster, it does extra damage with an attack against your vessel.
Oh yeah, of course it does.
And as strong and as powerful as your vessel is, hit points is not something it has in high abundance.
Alan, you didn't have to give us the ship. It was your idea to give it to us in the first place.
Oof. Can he hit the broadside of a barn? He can. And as for damage, which I'll double up in a moment here. Oof, your ship takes a whopping 40 points of damage as the main deck itself cracks under the strain. Kieran, it's now Isaac's turn. However, I will say that was 3 separate legendary actions taken, so unless the Kraken's abnormal, that's probably all it can do for this round.
I'm going to...
Didn't it?
Oh, there was a tentacle attack and a fling. My bad, I take that back.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, I thought he already used a bunch.
Yep, a tentacle attack to get you, and then a fling on you, and now another tentacle attack on the boat. The lightning storm, well, that was on his turn. Friggin' rocked the initiative on this guy, I was so happy. It's like, yay, I don't go last for once.
So he has minimum of 3 legendary actions? Is that what I'm concluding? Because it was...
the usual rule of cool on the legendary actions is an enemy gets 3 legendary action points that regenerate every turn. So if they do 3 things, you can be safe to assume they're out, unless he's weird. I'm being a cruel DM and teasing, but it's only 3.
Meta, I know that some creatures have 5 legendary actions, so that's why I was saying a minimum of 3.
Exactly. You're getting what I'm throwing down. Exactly.
Yes, I know. I know how legendary actions work. Don't worry.
Unfortunately, though, this isn't
guys.
Tiamat,
I gotta
so...
take a call.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Yeah, unfortunately, this big bad boy's not Tiamat, so I'm kind of playing my hand and saying that's 3 legendary actions. Yeah. Kieran, I'm sorry, did you do something on your turn there? Because I just saw it skip forward.
I tried to, yeah.
Because I think your mic went out for a sec while we were discussing the last one. And it's
the game is also paused for me.
Oh, you might have to reload, but I'll double pause just in case. Did it skip your turn forward by accident, Kieran?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'll jump back to you.
I was just gonna try to say, I'm going to cast Fireball from my staff onto it in a position where it's not going to, hit any of the party or the boat, obviously.
You just launch it behind his head.
Yeah.
Or right in the middle of that big ugly mouth, like.
Yeah. Let's see here. So that'll be... Sorry, I hit it, but the VTT wasn't connected. So I'm gonna try that again. Where's my staff? Here we go. Fireball. 7 charges. Roll. 41.
Oh boy, that's a lot of dice.
DC 19 dex save. It's a level 7. So the staff casts the spell at level 7 automatically, so.
Kaboom! As your fireball rips out at him. Cast from your staff as a level 7. I was like, did the music cut out? No, it's just repeating. For 41 points of damage based off a dex save. So let me give his saving throw here.
Then it turns out he has like, what is it? Is improved evasion a thing in this, or is it just evasion? I'm trying to remember how it works. And
Jade's a little ope. Most of the enemies don't have stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Because Jade essentially has improved evasion the way his works, right?
Yeah.
We're saying that.
The whole like no, if you succeed on the save, you take none instead of taking half thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think the monk and the rogue are the only 2 that have those sort of things in this. I haven't seen enemies that have much of that. They have to use legendary resistances and stuff like that to get out of it. Otherwise, it's a little too cheese the way they designed it out. But that fireball does ricochet out and pop off 41 points of damage against the monstrosity. So that was a nice, good, solid, clean hit on him too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and looking at it, like fire seems to work okay.
It didn't seem to take any less damage from fire, so it's definitely not immune or resistant to fire damage. That hit it clean on the chin.
That's
if it has one.
That's the important thing kind of to take away from all this. This is the figuring out what we can actually hit him with is important. All right, that I think will be my turn. So.
Alrighty. Gone. It's Nimbar's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead, since this is not concentration, I'm gonna cast a 7th level Crown of Stars. What do you guys think? Radiant or necrotic damage?
I'd say radiant.
That's what I've kind of been trying to figure out.
Yeah.
No. Alright. We'll just go radiant, I guess. So... Alright, how many of the notes do... Seven notes, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to then throw the first mote.
Alright. 32 is a hit. For 34 points of radiant damages as the motes fly off and sledgehammer into the enemy. A bright, blasting beam of light following up. It roars as its head reclines, growling angrily at the wizards who chop away at its health. 34 points of damage on that one, right?
Yep. Saying none of it's reduced.
None of it's reduced. Takes it right on the chin. Growls angrily as its massive health pool starts soaking up the hits. At the
It'd
end,
be real weird if it resisted radiant.
that would be pretty strange, I will admit.
Yeah.
At the end of your turn, as it comes around to Gargoth's turn, he looks around, has a somewhat disgusted look on his face as he looks towards the Kraken and shakes his head, and then launches himself 360 feet straight up into the air.
Whoa!
Just levitates and is gone, smuttering something along the lines of abominations. They don't find they're audacious, they're not going to get out of this. This is nope, no.
What?
Effectively removing him from the fight.
Oh my god.
Literally just abandons you.
He left us.
Skybox, best seats in the house, you know?
The Kraken's eyes.
Remember, he's evil.
Oh,
He
he's
doesn't
so-
care about anything except himself.
The Prince of Corruption. Oh yeah. Yeah, he bailed. And the Kraken watched him go before turning its eyes back down to you and your vessel.
Figured.
Just wait till you guys win and he comes back with fanfare. Like every anime character ever who's not going to help in the fight, but then shows up afterwards. Like, hey, you won! Congratulations! Here's some cookies!
We need
So-
like an Avengers moment where everyone just pops out of portals and then we just come back and kick ass.
Steal the spell that the bad guys already used and summon all your good guy versions. I'm sure there's way more of them.
Yeah.
Have like 50 Flummonoxes at the front line, just ready to beat everything up. I'm sorry, Jillian. Flux is a quick and easy one for me to point to because she's a walking tank.
It's alright. It doesn't bother me.
Oh god, Isaac just using his time powers to go collect other Isaacs.
Oh god.
Just like... I'm pretty sure that would be the unintentional end of the universe, right?
Oh,
Like-
you know what would happen? Isaac would show back up looking completely sour and angry, and everyone's like, what's wrong? He's like, the DM ripped me off. I'm the only one in all of reality who can use time magic. The rest of my other selves, they're all just like farmers. It sucks. Evil DM trickery right there at its finest.
I could totally see Isaac doing something like that, and then like best intentions making things far worse in the process.
Oh god. I created a new type of plant. It's a Cthulhu. Okay. Alrighty, I think I blabbed a little bit too much on that one. Dean, for Alex's turn. You got plans? You got designs?
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. So I have, with my dragon form, I have fly speed and hover. So I think I'll just come out like there, something like that, or there, spread us out a little bit.
Alrighty.
I'll use my action to cast Bane through my shield.
Ooh.
Oh, right. It didn't go through because I hadn't clicked the Beyond button. So that's what you call it? The 17 charisma save for the shield spell save.
Alrighty. You give me a second. I will give that a quick roll. Oh, damn. The dice landed so close to rolling over to 20, but no, he fails that check.
Sweet.
And let me just see the effects of Bane.
Bane's like anti-blast, basically, right?
Not bad, not bad. So it's got a D4 it has to roll and take that away from its attack rolls. That's not too bad.
Yeah, does it affect saves as well?
Attack roll or savings throw. Yep, any of them. They get
Yep.
a minus D4 to the roll.
That's actually probably the bigger deal here.
Oh yeah. Especially on those saves. So it has failed its check against Bane and is now affected by Bane.
Should I do
Kraken, I have you. Sorry,
I was just going to say, should I just do a crappy Bane impression?
I beat you to it. Mine's probably even crappier.
Painful for you.
That actually was pretty good.
I always have a pint glass to hand. As long as you got a pint glass, you're good. That'll be my turn. I don't have any good bonus actions. I have.
Could Shillelagh? No, you can't Shillelagh.
No, I don't have that anymore. When I changed
Oh.
my circle, my cantrips get moved around. That because I was through my circle of the wands thingy-majiggy.
Such an iconic spell for you.
Yeah, it really doesn't scale well though. It's kind of, it was sad to see it go. I could throw a burn. No, I just cast a spell. So yeah, no, that's me. That's my turn.
Oh,
I
really?
was gonna say I could throw a healing word, but it came out as burning, and I don't know why
Word.
it came out as that. But there you go.
That sounds like some Gaelic curse words. Burn in something or other. Or, may it burn when you use the washroom. Like that one. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah.
But as we switch the turns over, before the Kraken's turn kicks in, Jillian, poor Fluminoxus is going to notice as she looks down towards the water that she's somewhat knee-deep, waist-deep, hip-deep. I don't know. We were very non-descriptive and had fun with it. The water sparkles and shines before a burst of electricity flies outward, electrifying all those in the water. Which is just you. I'm going to need a dex save. Or sorry, Constitution save. Not dex save. I had that wrong. My mistake. This is what I get for reading while talking.
Oh, I rolled it on D&D Beyond, but it was 32.
Woohoo! I believe that.
I rolled a
'cause,
natural 20 on it. You should be able to see it in the game log, but I can take a picture if you want. I forgot that I refreshed.
What is game
Foundry.
log? I feel dumb because I don't know what this is.
It's you got the campaign in D&D Beyond. They're expanding it to be like a one-stop shop. So when you make a roll for your Beyond sheet, it appears in this game log.
Wait,
That you
where
can
is
check.
the game log?
See if you're on your character sheet, there's like a
Like a little chat box, like a
Yeah.
chat bubble thing.
Yeah, and it's up the top with the name of the campaign. I don't know how you access it as a DM. Probably from the campaign page, maybe? Yeah, there's a button there.
Got it. I just went into Fluxes and then I opened up the game log. Doesn't like being a side window though. Really doesn't like being a side window. Shoot, it won't do it on a half window. That's annoying. But I can view the game log. Sweet, I've learned something today. There it is.
It came up on VTT. I'm not seeing it, but I know I rolled it, so I don't know
Let's see, hold
how
on.
that's gonna shake out. I feel like if I was gonna lie about a roll, I wouldn't say, "Hey, I just got a natural 20 on that." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's too good to lie about.
19's a lot more plausible.
That's so weird because I don't see my game log only has up to 9.5.
I know, I saw that too. I was scrolling through it to see if it came up, and it didn't. But it
Nope,
came up on VTT, so I don't know what that means because it came up in a little pop-up window that said "Virtual Tabletop Not Found."
Oh yeah. And
Oh.
I'm
And
always
I
good
could
for a
just
couple.
roll it again if you want. I really don't care. I'll roll it again.
If you want to, go
Should
ahead.
be connected
by all
now.
means. With the way
Watch
you roll
this be a
con
nat
saves,
one.
it'll probably be. Yeah, it's still stupid high. Look at that. Let me just double
I
check.
don't know if it's
I'm
high
pretty
enough,
sure you
though.
passed that. Yeah, Jillian's like, I'll just re-roll. I'm gonna pass this anyway. It's a con save, for God's sakes. So you only take
Sad
half.
to see that 20 go though. I take a quarter actually.
Exactly.
It's lightning.
You take half of 15, which drops it down to 7, which then gets cut in half again to 3.
Okay.
Half a half a half goes really low very quick.
So it doesn't overcome the. Oh wait, no, she didn't get the beacon of hope. I was gonna say it wouldn't have overcome her natural healing.
She'll get that roll next turn to see if she can get back more of what it's done.
Yeah, I
But
have to
now,
wait till my turn.
we got the Krakens. Big boy. All right. It looks angrily as its eyes scan across your boat before it leans down somewhat, water and waves shifting and twisting, and you hear a dark, deafening cackle echoing through the ocean. A soft before a voice echoes into your minds as well. Look, audacious mortals, as even the gods abandon hope in you. You will be delicious. As he extends a hand towards Alec, who decided to move. A bubbling, churning hand that comes up from beneath the waves to grapple you.
Oh no.
A third hand as you notice these appendages, the tentacles. Some are tentacles, some are hands. So let me go ahead and give that attack roll a roll once I switch over to the right one. I accidentally opened up a second window while I was doing that because yay. Alright, that tentacle. Oh shoot, I might actually miss. What's your AC? Is your AC 19 or is it higher right now for some reason?
It's 19.
Alright, that is a hit.
Hang on.
Oh, no, wait, I gotta roll a d4.
Yeah.
It's a miss. Because of that. And it growls angrily and throws another tentacle at you, determined to strike you down. That's going to be a hit for sure.
Um,
I'm still rolling the d4 in case you have other shenanigans up your sleeve. Holy God. Still a hit, mind you, but...
I could possibly add a d6 to that, but I feel like its bonuses are going to be...
Why is my strength only 4?
Okay, I may as well use it.
Because you're a wizard, Eric.
I'll use my woe feature to have it subtract a d6.
Alrighty.
From
You
that
go ahead,
attack
give
roll.
that a roll.
Right, okay, so... will it come through 4?
Alright, subtracting 4 from its attack roll, it still hits you.
Oh god.
Thought it might.
Yup. As that hand surges around, Alec spins and moves out as quickly as he can. However, he's quickly grabbed as another fourth hand comes up from below the waves. I put it on there, but it's easier to just say the third one went down. You know, being the monster it is. And as that tentacle strikes you, you take a grand whopping total of 21 points of damage, and you are grappled.
What kind of damage is it?
Bludgeoning damage.
So that reduces to half.
So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. But
Cool.
that might not be what's horrifying you. Because you now notice as it has you gripped in a hand, as its eyes turn on you and shine a bright red, its mouth opens wide. As the Kraken's teeth come at you. However, you're grappled, which means you're restrained.
Oh, I know what must have. Huh.
Just double checking. Yeah, there we go. Attack rolls against you while you are restrained have advantage. That was what I was double checking. And there's a whole bunch of other nasty things, but that's not beyond the point. As it makes a mighty bite with its teeth on you, it's going to be a... I still have to roll that d4, don't I? It still hits as the teeth sink into your form. Worse than that, as its teeth bite in. Since you are large or smaller, and you are grappled by the Kraken, the rest of your team gets to see Alec eaten, swallowed in one bite by the Kraken. The grapple ends, however, while swallowed, you are blinded and restrained. You have total cover against attacks and other effects outside of the Kraken. But at the start of each one of the Kraken's turns, you're going to be subjected to acidic damage. But welcome to the Kraken's belly.
How much damage did I take on the bite?
From the bite, you have taken, come on dice, roll quick, 52 points of damage total, which is split up.
God.
Whoa, no, that's not right. I don't think that second one's supposed to be on there. Sorry, I have to do the math because it added in the acid damage as well. You take 22 points of piercing damage. Non-magical piercing damage.
Right.
So 11. Because you have that divider, right?
Yep. So I need to make con save for Bane.
As you are now officially closer to nature than you've ever been. Oh, is that for concentration?
Yeah, on Bane, when I took the 10 damage, my con save is plus 10, so I would have passed it, but the 11...
Yeah.
Well, even if I rolled the 1, I couldn't have... Because it's plus 10. Alright, I
nice.
was just going off the raw numbers. I forgot.
So, Alec has been eaten.
Oh,
Concerning.
dear.
Oh no. However, that's it for the Kraken's turn. Flux, as you see the giant claw move up, and Alec probably just says, "Oh no," as he's eaten, in his usual casual way.
Okay.
I'm taking
So
that
one
hand
thing
off.
that I want to know about is like, have we fought creatures that have swallowed us before? Like, because I know about a certain thing, like meta knowledge. Like, would Flux know about it? Like about taking damage when something has something swallowed. Like, I know that from meta stuff, but like, would Flux have experienced that? Do you think she would know?
I can proudly say this is the first time
Like
I
that if she
successfully
hit him
eaten
hard
someone.
enough?
I've tried
Okay.
to eat party members before, but actually this is the first time I ate one, and I know what you're getting for there.
Yeah.
I will say, normally it has to be internal for that to work. From the outside's the outside, but
I don't even think I can get to his mouth because I have to use half my movement to stand up, right? And the mouth is 45 feet away from me. I only have 30 feet of flight.
oh yeah. The flip of that though is
60 feet of flight. Fly gives you 60.
Yeah, but she has to use the 30.
Because I'm prone, because I got thrown.
keep it in
I have
mind
to
that
spend half my movement to stand up.
Alec's been eaten, so he's actually like somewhere around here right now as he's being digested.
No, so here's what I'm saying.
'Cause I'm not
Flux
sure
would
if it
go
was.
into that mouth after him.
Oh
But
god.
what I'm saying is I can't get to the mouth. Can I? Because I have to use half my movement to stand up. That's what I'm asking.
Well, we get to a funky situation here. Because a monster this large... This is just here for reference. He did lean forward and cackle and joke at the ship. So his physical body may have shifted down to like over here at the moment as he's picking on all of you. As long as you're within range of him. So you know, all of, what is it, 10 feet for you to him, if that? Shoot, I keep clicking on the wrong damn thing and putting up things. Yeah, 10, 15 feet. You get up with half your movement, the other half you do whatever you want, you're right there on top of him. Any shenanigans beyond that, well, I'm gonna be a bit flexible. Because it's right there, and you can just grab it by the face and try.
So if I can get to its mouth, Flux is gonna try to pry the mouth open and see if she can reach Alec.
Alrighty. What I'm going to do on that one, I'm trying to think how to do that from the rule standpoint. As a DM, I'm leaning back, nodding my head like, yes, this is happening. But now I'm just thinking, how does this happen? Let's see here. You can't grapple something that big, so it's not going to be a grapple check, but you know it's going to want to eat you if you go near its mouth. So what I'm going to do is have it burn a legendary action, even though it's not allowed to do that, since you're doing something a little special, to use its bite attack to actually eat you. You can be willingly eaten this way, flying after Alec.
I can't just fly over and try to pry its mouth open and reach in? Like
You
with my
could.
attack actions?
You could use your attack action to sledgehammer one of your blades right into its mouth, to try to get it to recoil open and then keep going. You could do that as well.
That's kind of
Those
what
are-
I was thinking.
With
That's
one
what I
of them,
described.
You fly up and it eats you and you have all your actions. With the other one, you use up one of your attacks. So, either way. But, if you successfully hit it and cause it to recoil and open its mouth, you won't get bitten by it so you don't take damage. You just fly right in. So,
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna
Perfect.
stab at its mouth until it opens up.
and don't mind me, I have a habit of pointing out, or painting out all of the options, like, oh, you can do that, or this, haha, and this too. So you go ahead and give me an attack roll as Flummonoxus charges forth after Alec.
With my inspiration, I have to call it before I roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Alright.
Why wouldn't I use it when my best friend got swallowed?
A 26 is a hit. As you fly forward, Flummonoxus may be giving a mighty battle cry, or maybe a roar saying, no, I must save you, you know. Whatever it would be, I can't really say because it's your character, and that's half the fun. You definitely land that strike, which causes it to recoil, as it takes 19 points of damage right on the chin.
Okay. And then do I see, now with its mouth open, do I see Alec at all?
Oh no, he's swallowed.
Okay, so I'm gonna stab it again and pull myself up, like get it in the tongue, and use my sword as leverage and pull myself in, calling for Alec's name.
Awesome. As you are stabbing it to move your way inside, it's going to gladly help you. You know what I mean? It's going to make actions and chomp and attempt to swallow. So by all means, you get an advantage on this attack roll on its tongue. Yelling, Alec, you in there? Stab, stab. And of course, a 29's a hit. And that's 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay,
Yes, John. 13.
I'll move.
I don't know if that was actually John or somebody clicked on his mini and typed 13, but I love it.
No, that was
Here-
me. I was typed in the wrong window.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call my sword toward me and attack one more time with the sword, the fly, as my bonus action.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do that and see what happens. This is a normal roll. I don't know where the sword is in relation to me, but I can only move it 20 feet.
And you still have, unless I'm miscounting, you get 3 attacks per turn, right?
No, I do. So I've
Okay.
used here's I'm just getting up to it.
I
So
figured you had
I'm gonna
something
do
up
that. I got something. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look at the party and I'm gonna say, Jade, you're in charge, and I'm gonna use Commander Strike to get Jade to attack, and then I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to crawl down its throat.
So, after Flux flies up and slashes the mouth of the monster open, causing it to recoil back as she flies in, yelling for her friend who was just eaten. She turns around at the penultimate moment because, of course, the big giant Cthulhu-grade Kraken is going to be making motions to bring its teeth down on her. She points a finger right at Jade as the teeth come down and she says, "You're in charge!" and they slam shut around her. At the end of your turn, it's going to make a bite attack against you because, well, I have to. There's no way it's not going to. You're sitting in its mouth and it's hungry. So, let me just run that as its bite attack. It's technically only supposed to be able to do that swallow technique on something it's grappled. But the thematics are pretty cool on this one, so Rule of Cool gets to override that and it gets a bite attack because you've placed yourself in its mouth. That's definitely a hit. There's no way. That's one of my best rolls. Why does it get wasted on, like, the hit that has to hit? I shouldn't complain. I should just roll my damage. You take 27 points of piercing damage as its teeth sink into you and you find yourself quickly sliding down into its gullet. You bump into Alex somewhere down there, maybe. It's a pretty large area. It's like falling into a gigantic pool. Except you're restrained and you are blinded. Alec, you feel a thump on top of your head as a Flummonoxus lands on you as well.
Groovy.
Take bludgeoning damage.
Nope. I'd have to use his fling attack to do that. And he didn't do that. He only just ate Flux, and she's like, I shrugged the damage off.
Grab, fling into the mouth.
Now I'm just going to move your mini up here as well, so that we know that your character is, as well, being eaten.
Man, I don't think I've rolled anything besides a 1 on my superiority die in ages.
They really don't like you. I mean, you do good work with them, but they really don't like you on your dice rolls. With the Commander's Strike, does he add that to his attack roll or damage roll or something? I know it's an add-on for all those, I just don't know all of them, you know what I mean? Damage roll, yep. So he gets a +1 to damage. Alrighty, Jade.
Okay, so this counts as her turn doing the attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
A completely different turn of combat. If you can figure out a way to get that sneak attack, you can take it.
I have invisibility, I get advantage on the attack roll, and someone is within 5 feet of the Kraken, so I get sneak attack anyways.
That's what'll give it, because keep in mind, your invisibility has no effect on the Kraken, it has true sight.
Does that affect it? Because when I'm on the D&D Beyond web page, it doesn't say anything about being able to be seen. It just says you have attack roll on your attack rolls. You have advantage.
Right out of the rulings, the one first off for hide says if the enemy can see you, you can't hide from them. Invisible creatures are impossible to see without the aid of magic or a special sense. With that, for the purpose of hiding, the creature is considered heavily obscured unless the opponent can actually still see you, in which case you gain no benefits. The creature's location can be detected by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves. Attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage and the creature's attack rolls have advantage. It says for invisible, but that's if you're impossible to see. Where you are physically being seen by the creature, you wouldn't gain advantage on your attack rolls against it. Nor would it have disadvantage against you. You're not technically invisible to an enemy with true sight. You're visible to an enemy with true sight.
Oh wait.
True sight's a fair bit overpower broken. Oh, Jesus. Well, it was bound to eventually happen that someone would get a 1 on that attack roll again. We haven't seen those since Avernus. And, I'll tell you this one, Courtney. Whenever a player rolled a 1 on an attack roll in Avernus, the blade could break. They still do down here, it's just not magical ones.
Kieran,
Yeah,
do you have any of your uses of the reroll thing?
I do actually.
Oh.
And you know
Is this
what?
it may be worth doing where we can get sneak attack damage?
I think that you make a very good point. So I'm going to use a chronal shift So Jade can re-roll that attack roll.
As Jade readies his blade for the honeysuckle for the strike, you see Isaac's head twist and turn in an odd way as he warps time effect and he yells, "No, Jade, lower your blade 1 foot." Yet another failure. Maybe you should reconsider your. Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Wow.
Jade's like folding his arms. I usually top out the damage levels, thank you. I don't have to reconsider shit.
Okay.
Well, no. We are reconsidering the life.
Yeah,
That
we
is
are
literally what's
reconsidering.
going on.
Yeah. The monster's life, right?
So let's try this again. I will
Yes.
use Bless.
This is a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
This attack doesn't want you to hit with it. Like, maybe
19
the
to
sword
hit.
of cause cursed you, but a 19 is a hit. But maybe that sword of cause cursed you. It's like, you will not strike anything without hard effort. Alright, you go ahead and throw those lovely damage dice up.
All it took was a chronal shift and a blast, but we got the hit in.
Yep. Whew. Hey, Courtney. You were the one who blessed,
Yep.
right?
Yup.
You and Flux can both share in the glory for the damage that's about to drop on Jade's sneak attack then. I mean, Flux is Commander Strike, that's what's given the damage, but then, without Bless, it wouldn't have hit. I love it when all the little pieces fall together like that and the whole team works together. That's like every single one of you except Alec, because I ate him.
I mean, I only pointed things out. So.
It still counts. That's strategy, that's fighting, that's teamwork. And that's some damage dice right there. 36
Ooh.
points. As you slam the Kraken. Enough that its eyes shift and turns right towards the invisible Jade as it snorts and you hear a voice in your head. I wonder if an invisible cat still tastes like a cat.
Yes, because I'm not invisible because I made an attack.
Oh yeah, you turn back to normal, I forgot.
That also raises a lot of questions about, like, this thing's ecology. Are there cats in these waters? Like, is this a...
It just
Wait, will I see a catfish now?
You see the
I was
eyes
about to say
squinting and it
catfish.
chuckles. As you look over the boat and joking like, ah, do I see catfish? Deep below, you can see, swimming, circling your boat, sharks. It's like, damn it. Why did we look?
Point random direction and say swirl.
No. No, those sharks are circling underneath you, and more of them continually come. Each turn, 4d10 sharks are showing up over and over, far below where you fight now. Be cautious if you find yourself moving to the deep.
You would think the sharks would also try and avoid a Kraken.
That's not what the book says. You would think, though, they'd be like, no, we're out of here, that's the big granddaddy boss. But it kind of works a little differently. Nope, we're here, sir. What do you want, big granddaddy boss? Love it. Good old regional effects. So, that would make it, at this point, you got any other tricks up your sleeve there before we move on, Flux?
No, I've used everything. I'm done.
Just nodding sagely with her arms folded, like, look at that damage spiking. Jade. See that again. So long as he has an ally eaten, that's technically within 5 feet, so you'll always have sneak attack. There we go. No specialty needed on that. That's a hit for sure. As as Jade once again swings his blade into the flesh of the Kraken, hand twitching as he strikes down. Whew. 44 points of damage sinks into the Kraken as it yowls in pain, looking angry. Any other tricks up your sleeve there for Jade?
No.
Alright.
Okay.
Bellamy's turn. As the Kraken looms over the vessel.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to, bonus action, bamf out my wings. And I'm gonna move,
And Jade, I am going to have to give you an apology. From what I see, looking it up, the Ra on that invisible is a bit of a cluster, and I'm double checking, but you may actually have advantage on your attack rolls, even on that. I'm looking it up with True Sight and all that, and I'll know for your next turn.
I'll fly my 30 feet towards the mouth, I guess. Bellamy's a little bit more brave than Courtney is.
Running up the front of the tentacles like, hey, give me back my friends!
Yep. And I'm going to use my violin to cast Firestorm.
Alright.
Just find it here. There it is. And it's not concentration. So, dexterity save from him.
Alrighty, you give me a second to roll up a dex save as you throw out a storm of flames upon the Kraken.
And he also gets an extra 17 points of radiant damage because I have my wings out.
Oof. Bellamy shining as she flies forth. What happened to your character portrait though? Dude, that thing got messed up. In the little mini window there. That's no good. I'll have to fix that. It takes 41 plus how much radiant? I'm sorry, I missed that.
17.
58 damage total. The Kraken
And can
growls.
I just yell?
Yeah.
Can I yell, Flux? You in there, buddy? I don't know if she can hear me or not. That's the end of my turn.
At the end of your turn, the Kraken's going to use its legendary actions that it's been a little more less useful on this turn than it has been before with them. I did use up one for Fluxus because it ate her, but it still has 2 left and it growls. Perhaps we can even this fight. How well would you fare in my domain? It growls out into your minds as its hands twist, turn, and grab your vessel. 1 tentacle attack immediately on your ship.
Oh, my Firestorm.
Oh, yes. Oh, that probably has an after effect that sticks around.
So it's 10 10-foot cubes, which I can arrange if I wish. Each cube must have at least one face adjacent to the face of another cube. Each creature in the area must make a dex save, 7d10 fire damage on a fail, blah blah blah. Fire damage on the
Lights everything on fire.
Fire damages objects. Yeah, I just wanted to see if it stays up, but it doesn't. Okay, alright, okay.
You get that
Cool.
nice damage done on him, though. That's pretty good. A good, strong hit. That tentacle, however, I gotta make sure he can hit the broadside of a barn. He can. You never know, I might roll a 1.
Is he still under the effect of Bane?
Oh,
So the minus.
he'd still hit. The attack roll was pretty nice on that one.
I was trying.
Your boat's sitting at 76 points of damage and is looking critically injured, the vessel beginning to crack under the strain of the attack, as the Kraken's eyes narrow as it keeps focused on it. You hear from below deck, "Oi, what the hell's going on up there? Keep it down, I'm trying to cry here."
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
So, I think that was it for Bellamy's turn, because it was the Kraken who did his thing. So that means, Isaac, you're up. And look, our turn tracker came back. I don't know why it disappeared, but hey, it returned. This Foundry is weird.
So, I am going to cast... Let's very quickly check this slot. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna cast Fireball again. In a location that won't hit anybody in the party.
Those who are eaten cannot be affected by external, so they're fine.
Yeah. Basically just avoiding hitting Bellamy here.
You're shooting behind its head again.
Yeah.
The nice thing on fighting a monster that is this incredibly huge is that, well, you've got a lot of room to work with a lot of things. Well, you go ahead and shoot off your fireball, like, right over here. Come on, special effects.
Ooh, lots of 5s and 6s on that one.
Oh, pardon me. 19 DC dex save. It fails its dexterity saving throw and takes the full damage on the chin. 46 points of fire damage. The Kraken eyes turning bloodshot in anger in its rage as the seas twist and churn and its hands continue to grip. Anything else for your turn on that one, Kieran?
No, I think that's gonna be my, that's good. Do you want... I'm gonna move to the part of the boat that's not currently red, and then that's gonna be part that like the middle boat, because the middle boat's been a cursed place to stand, and that's gonna be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, before Dimbar's turn, its other hand grips and twists the back of the boat, increasing the damage done even further. Your boat is sitting at 122 points of damage, cracks breaking through the superstructure, the frame beginning to fall apart, twisting and warping beneath your feet. It can't take another hit like that. If it hits 150, it will be destroyed.
Problem point.
Alright. Let's start. Throw this little mode of light. I assume 31 hits.
Oh, yeah.
So that means another 27 damage.
As another radiant bolt hits him, but their own that's a bonus, is it?
That's a bonus action. And now for my turn, or my main action, go big or go home. We're going to cast Disintegrate at the only spell slot available, which is 9th level.
Ooh.
Yes.
19d6 plus 4. 40. 96 more damage.
Alright, team. At the back of the boat. I just have to read something on here quickly.
We pumped a lot of damage into this thing. I hope it's near death.
What I'm wondering now is if me and Alec are gonna disintegrate with it.
So,
Oh no.
here's the thing. As the Kraken's hands wrench your boat and twist it as the ship is nearly destroyed with barely anything holding it left together. Fluminoxus, and as you grab onto Alec like, we will get out of here and save each other, my friend. I know we can do it. You see once again the light of day opening up in front of yourselves. And as you turn, you notice there is a very, very large hole, 10 foot in diameter, directly through the center of the Kraken. As much as I'd love to actually disintegrate the Kraken, and the spell says it should completely disintegrate, this is an exceedingly large Titan grade monster, and I think putting a 10-foot hole through it as it dies is a fair bit cooler.
The bear just like casts it and then just kind of falls to the ground like, oh my god.
The tentacles begin to fall limp in the ocean, the hands losing their grip as the eyes begin to fade close. The mighty beast starts to sink back into the waters from where it once came. But before it falls below, it reaches out one last time to speak as it dies. You will not stop his revival. And with that, the Kraken disappears below the waves. And by some blessed miracle, the sharks below as well dissipate and remove themselves.
I figured they'd
Dissipate.
go and start eating them.
And
No.
apparently the boat's gone with it.
Oh, my bad. Let me rename that. I must have deleted it while I was deleting hands. They're all very same layer.
Yeah, you left one hand, got a boat, so.
Admittedly, boat's almost gone.
We should probably do some repairs.
So I think, as Flummonoxus and Alec are floating in the water together, Flux like, I will save you. Doesn't look like I have to. Sweet. Because I'm gonna tip my hat to Jillian on that one. Because you were basically saying, once I get in there and I start damaging him, he's gonna throw us up. And I pretty much responded, yep, that's the meta knowledge. Thank you for being very, very kind with it, right? So I tip my hat to Jillian. I like your strategy, and I liked where you were going with it. I had some fun thinking on the fly, how the hell am I actually going to eat you without breaking rules? So that was fun. That put me on the seat of my pants. But
That was great.
the Kraken is now sinking into the ocean. You've successfully defeated the mythical Titan. And before we go any further, it's 10 after 12. I would say, hey, want to take a quick 15-minute break, everybody?
Yep, sounds
Sure,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And honestly, the main reason I'm taking the break right now, Courtney, you go grab yourself a drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would have been
I
like
appreciate that.
the penultimate horror. If I was an evil man, I would have somehow turned your boat to a submarine, put you on the bottom of the ocean, and have the fight there. But that's
Oh boy.
at that point, I'm really pushing too many buttons. Like I had a lot. This was fun enough.
Yeah, that
This-
was great.
That was a fun fight to watch you all go through. It was a good one.
I'm so happy the disintegrate was the one that finished it, so that way the body like melts away from them.
There's been a time or two that spell came up and almost did the deed, but didn't get to. So it was really nice to see it in action. But, I mean, that was well done by everybody. Really good fight, everybody. So we'll take a quick... Well, it's actually about quarter after right now. We'll take a quick 15, and we'll come back at 12:30. And maybe if you're lucky, Gargoth will come back too. Alrighty, everyone. I'll see you all in 15.
See you in a bit.
something, something dark side.
I don't want to go to work.
Oh, you gotta go to work today, man?
No, you said something dark side. That's the
Oh.
dark side. I don't want to go over there.
Hey,
Oh,
don't
do
be
you
ripping
work
hard
over-
on Dartmouth.
Do you
I
work
live
over in Dartmouth? Yeah, I live in Dartmouth too. Yeah.
I live in Dartmouth too.
Oh well.
It's just going to work. It seems like the dark side to me.
Oh, I get you. See, I go back. I missed it. I was thinking the old school where we used to call Dartmouth Dark Side for the jokes of things. But I like Dartmouth a lot. It's such a lovely place.
Mm-hmm.
I had more fun here than I did in Halifax. I find people drive nicer here, which is very strange, but that's fine.
Dartmouth is just pretty chill, at least where I am. Like, and if I want to go to Halifax, it's not like it's hard to get to Halifax from Dartmouth. Like,
Oh no,
it's, you know.
Hey guys.
you. So at this point, I think John's back. I think I heard you.
I may or may not have been muted. It's fine.
There we go.
We can
So-
hear you crunching, Dean. Just heads up.
Are you enjoying it? He's like,
Oh,
I'm branching out into
yeah.
ASMR. Okay, good to know. I thought Discord's usually pretty good at cancelling out stuff, but
I do a lot of
Yeah.
fine tuning to cancel out as much as I can, but still catch my voice.
I've been munching on chips, so I keep myself muted because those are like super crunchy, and you'll definitely hear them no matter how much.
Oh god, yeah. Alright.
Today, Dean and I had some Doritos and an energy drink that I bought as a joke.
Oop. Oh,
Well,
energy
yeah.
drinks.
it's we're badly influenced by a podcast we listen to. They did a extra episode where they reviewed energy drinks,
Yep.
and I think Jillian found the one that someone found it was an odd flavoured one. But it's only half a can each, so theoretically our hearts shouldn't explode.
Yeah, it's only 90 milligrams of caffeine, so that's like about the same as a small coffee.
I feel like, is that not like caffeine's like the least of the problems with energy drinks? Like they've got lots of like shit in them.
Yeah.
Probably. There's no sugar in this either, though. It's aspartame, so at least there's that.
Oh, not bad, not bad.
By the way, I was looking at the damage I did with disintegration.
That's pretty high.
That's less than half possible damage.
No, jeez. Level 9 disintegrate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got a lot of ones on that roll.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I did my lightning strike at the start, it's like, oh look, I just rolled almost minimum.
Yeah, that was a pretty underwhelming attack after all the hype.
What were
Ultimate
the
lightning, flat damage.
what was the damage dice?
It's like a 1, a 2. It was like 4d10 or 3d10, but I rolled like a 1, a 2, and a
Okay.
4. The Kraken's biggest fear, the thunderstorm's great. It's a fun little thing to jump, but it's the tentacles. That's what makes that monster nasty because
Yeah.
given how big it is, of course it's going to get you anywhere you're at. But worse than that, a Kraken, it has 30-foot reach. And given that it's a Titan class gargantuan monster with a huge area, that means it basically goes where it wants. And with tentacle reach like that, it's going to get everything, so good times, good times.
Does anybody care about a Critical Role Season 1 spoilers?
Oh, I don't mind spoilers. I don't really watch Critical Role, and I couldn't find the time to do it now. There's just so much. But I
I'm
like
not too
Critical
worried
Role.
about it. Yeah. I just
Didn't they-
that's my thing too. Is it just too much time invested?
Don't they? Aren't they coming out with a new campaign soon?
They should be. I don't think there's a date yet, but they're talking about doing a third one.
Well, when they do, let me know if you can, because I'd be interested in watching, but I'm not going back to rewatch the first two because I don't have that much time.
No.
Gotcha.
If you ever do the first one's worth it. I'd skip the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would also personally recommend starting at like episode 25 or 26. Maybe going back a little bit. But it's
They built.
I think I started at level 19, but on episode 19 or 18, maybe 17.
What I like is they
Just
built
'cause
a
it
group
was-
of really likable characters, like in that first season.
Mhm.
That's what got it. The voice actors really had their perfect characters for themselves, I felt. I haven't seen much of anything else, but those characters in that first season were very likable.
Mm.
Especially the
What was this?
Goblin.
Oh, that was the
No.
second season.
Oh, that second season. Yeah, there was that one too. But the first season had... Oh, shoot, I can't even remember. The second
That
season was
was-
the one that had the Goblin and the Tiefling who was purple, I think.
There were two
Yeah.
tieflings originally.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know nothing
I,
about
I,
it.
did, I did watch. I did watch like the first episode of the second campaign, and like I think his name is Ben, played like a goblin girl, and it was just hilarious.
As Sam. Yeah.
Sam. I knew it was a three-letter word.
He's
Okay.
he was the funniest in the first camp. He plays a gnome bard in the first one. He's
Oh, right.
But
pretty
the
funny.
moment- I haven't really seen it, but I have seen somebody made an animation of the introduction of
They
was
made it.
Laura Bailey's character, the tiefling, and the whole you should take a bath thing, and that whole like improv was very funny. Like it was a great way to like introduce the the two groups.
It's a good way to catch
Actually,
you.
Well, I know what one you're talking about. When they
Yep.
met in the tavern, right?
Yeah. Somebody made an animation of it, and it was
Yeah, it
very
was an
funny.
animatic,
Like,
yeah.
Yep.
They actually crowdfunded a show about their first campaign, I do believe.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so they're in the process of developing that now.
Well, yeah, the animation's a lot of money and a lot of work to make, but like that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone's curious about watching some Critical Role, you can just wait till the animated series comes out and watch some of that.
That's probably what
That's
I
what
wanted
I'm
to
I
do.
doing.
might do that, yeah, actually.
Originally, it was supposed to be out like around this time, I think, but with
COVID.
COVID and everything, it
Oh, yeah.
got set back. So,
Yeah,
COVID.
you can't blame them for that. That's yeah.
oh no, you can't blame anyone for what
You-
happened last year. So,
I
You're
mean,
you're all welcome. I backed it.
oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, okay. So Dean, this is 100% on you.
Yeah, it's his
You get
fault.
all the
Yeah.
credit, right?
Yeah, I
It's
want
his fault it's
the
delayed too, so
the praise that I deserve. None of the criticism. The staff can take that. As
Yeah, no,
financial
absolutely.
backer, as CEO, I only want the praise and the bonus.
Speaking
Well,
of,
Thank you. Money, please.
Speaking of backing Kickstarters, the first Kickstarter I ever backed actually came out, which was
Oh, nice.
Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous, and it's fun if you like Dungeons and Dragons. If you like Dungeons and Dragons video games, it is a good Dungeons and Dragons video game. It's Pathfinder First Edition, and you can become a dragon or a lich or a swarm of insects in the form of a person or many other things because they use the epic path system to like let you become. My character is currently in the process of becoming an Azada, which is like a chaotic good like freedom celestial thing from the plane of Elysium. So
I've only backed one Kickstarter, and that was for the Doggo miniatures.
I love it.
I'm
gonna-
That's good.
so
I'm gonna
Rod,
give the Dean. I'm gonna give the Bang an 8.5.
Right.
And just checking, Courtney, you back? Nope, she's on the muter still. She must be doing something. I have to say though, before we jump back into the game, I had a really funny thought the second Dean's like, "Oh yeah, I backed that." It's like one of
I
these
am
days.
still here. Sorry, I forgot I was on mute.
Oh, perfect, good. If you're back, I can jump in. I just didn't want to start until we were all back. You know, the usual. I was gonna say a joke.
sorry.
Like 4 or 5 years down the road, you'll be re-watching one of these videos, and you'll see a comment from Matt Mercer. "Oh, hey Dean, thanks for backing us." And you'll be like, "When the hell did that happen?" Oh,
That'd be something.
Well, if you are watching, Matt, then take a longer break because you need one. Be a player.
Oh my word.
Was
He
it-
has.
if
He
I
has
under-
been.
Oh yeah.
I thought
He
he was
hasn't
gonna
been. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, I don't know why, but I thought he was going to be a player in the next campaign.
Oh.
No, I
He was a player in like the mini campaign they're doing, but it's still like a few weeks of playing compared to years and years of running games. Alan, you'll know what that's like.
Oh god,
And-
yeah. I've been a DM for like 22 years now. I
And-
started when I was 13.
I can see them. I can see them premiering season 3 next year, like in January of next
Yeah.
year, after
And-
Christmas.
The thing with him too
Campaign 3 is in October, apparently.
Oh,
Matt,
Oh, it
Matt
is? I didn't think they
basically
announced that.
like he's basically a professional DM at this point, right? Like it's a job basically at this point too. Like switching him out to being a player is like for them like kind of a like for a long campaign, right? It's kind of like that's a business decision at the level that Critical Role's at now.
the honest truth for Matt Mercer is, unfortunately, what he might get most well known for, which sucks because he's a great DM, is the Matt Mercer effect. That's everyone knows that effect, and he's so good that he makes other DMs look bad, and people are expecting Matt Mercer level from people just starting. That's the Matt Mercer effect in short. Not that I mean to make any insult to Matt Mercer. I wouldn't dare. The guy's great. However,
Yeah.
because he's been such an amazing DM for so incredibly long, when you pull him out the chair, it's the Matt Mercer effect. How can you have someone else sit in that chair? That's woof. I'd love to see it, because I love seeing it happen. When a DM becomes a player and a player is a DM, it's entertaining. But yes, the Matt Mercer effect, because of how good he is, anyone who sits in that chair after him is going to be immediately compared against him. So that's...
I don't feel like they do
You
that.
know what though? Abria did really, really good with Exandria Unlimited. Like,
good, I love it.
it wasn't like a great mini campaign. Like I didn't like many of the players per se, but Abria did really, really good as a DM.
Oh, awesome! I love it because it's. I love when people DM. It's always a good time. It's I always anyone who ever works on it, I'm always like, give big thumbs up, any info you want or help or any of that, because it's, if you like it, it's addictive. It's like players always say. I was saying this one to Dan the other day, and it was a joke mostly. But he's saying like, oh yeah, getting into character, I really got the feel for this. I got to really step up on this part, and I'm like, that's exactly why I play. I'm the same way. It's why I do DM. I have a god complex. That's hard.
My apologies. I was a little misunderstood. The way they worded it was not real great, but I found it a little more detail, and it's in October. They're going to announce more details on it. So my apologies on the confusion there.
Yeah. That's okay. I was pretty sure they hadn't announced it yet, but my guess is that will be next year.
Yeah, when you said that, I started digging in a little bit deeper just to confirm one way or another.
And I think Kieran, you were about to say something just before we jump right back in.
The thing that I think it's always important to keep in mind with Critical Role is that they're not just players, but they're all professional actors as well.
Oh god, they're all professional voice actors. They're the worst D&D players because they're the best, right?
Yeah. So the analogy I use is that Critical Role is to D&D like what porn is to sex. It's not a realistic portrayal of what D&D is actually like, and so people need to temper their expectations going into it, right? Like you're going to be playing with normal people, and you're not going to be playing with a bunch of professional voice actors who are all there and who are, you know, with a DM who is actually like, you know, being paid to be able to spend time to put together a very, you know, detailed campaign and like all these kinds of things, right? Like there's a lot going into Critical Role to make it the product that it is that you're not going to get with your random like tabletop group of like friends, right? So
oh yeah, professional voice actors and all that.
Just important to temper your expectations. That's the thing.
The Matt Mercer effect.
Yeah.
Beautiful term for it. I love it. You know you're amazing when someone uses this term to say people compare themselves to you. Like that's, I tip my hat. It's awesome. I love it. But okay, I've gone on enough of a tangent since we're all back rested and relaxed and the fight's behind. I will unpause the game to get the clock spinning once again. You will note as time ticks on, when you click on your minis, your vision is limited. Thanks to upgrades in mods and Foundry. The time of day will determine your vision on a lot of my overworld maps. There'll come a point where your mini suddenly doesn't see the whole map, but you're limited to your vision as the map gradually darkens following the time. I love it. So nice. I love automation. So, picking up where we left off, as you all look around, Bellamy, I'm gonna go with you because you have only a limited period of time left of flight. How long does that last? Is it like a turn or multiple turns? Because I know you immediately sprouted your wings and took off. I gotta pull that up on your character. Because you might still be able to make some of that flight use.
Asimar's it's a minute.
1 minute.
1 minute, perfect. You got 60 seconds of flight, wonderful. Which means you got 54 seconds of flight, so that's plenty of time, because as Flux and Alec are bobbing over there in the water like, oh, hey, we're pretty good. Oh, shoot. They killed the Kraken, awesome. Flux, though, might be going, oh, damn it, I was going to tear him up from the inside and annihilate him. Which would have been awesome to see, but that 100 damage disintegration ray at 9th level, well, that's going to put a dent in anyone's plans, as we see here. But the calm, quiet waters, with a storm slowly approaching, as mentioned previously, which Bellamy is quite aware. You notice, however, something else below your feet in the water. A small red blob that seems to be just bobbing along, slightly beneath your feet.
Beneath me?
Yep.
Well, I think I know what it is.
It's small.
I'm gonna go down and see what it is.
As you float down, curiosity getting the better of you, the little red blob bobs its way up, and you notice it's actually a hat, and as it happens, you hear,
Oh, buddy! And I'm gonna scoop him up and put his little hat back on his head.
and as you pick up the once drowning Duga, he shakes himself off, having that completely nonchalant look on his face, gives you a nod as you put the hat back on his head. For one of the few times you see him smile. Just for a brief second, just thank you, and he gives a smile. The hat flops on his head with a slush. And as you look back
I'll
at your
bring him
ship,
back.
that ship as you return to, it's seen better days. Presently sitting at a fraction of its health. How much damage was done? I believe 122? Where's my notes? 122 points of damage out of its 150 health. That's a lot.
Yeah, we should repair it before we move on, probably.
Yeah. While I have my wings out, I'll also... I don't know if they need my help, but I will assist Flux and Alec getting back to the boat if they need me.
I think... How long's fly last? Hour or hours? It's either like a 1 hour or
10
an hour.
minutes, I think.
Oh shit, I'm way off.
10 minutes.
I can fly as well with my for 10 minutes with the star form.
So we got three Super Saiyans floating on the water looking down at the dead Kraken. One of them's holding on to a red cap. That was actually a pretty slick fight. You all did quite well with the teamwork and with throwing those damage numbers up nice and high and nice and fast. You took down a Kraken in 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
However,
when they swallowed Dean, I got a little panicky. I'm like, all right, how can I min-max the most damage? Disintegrate level 9.
Yeah.
the interesting
Good
thing
old
about the
Wild.
Kraken, and I was really tempted to give it to it, but I decided, no, I'll stick with how it's written. But one of the really interesting things about the Kraken, from the meta knowledge I'll let you all know, is it's one of the few creatures of that grade of power, strength, and etc. that has no legendary resistance. It has legendary actions, but no legendary resistances.
That explains why I didn't go. No, I passed here. You're disintegrate.
So many times. And after doing some research, Dan, for true sight versus invisibility, the majority of people say, in all realness, Alan's ruling is correct. It wouldn't apply because you're invisible. But if we're looking at raw, then it implies, even though it can see you and you wouldn't get any of the hiding benefit, you still get that advantage and disadvantage slot. Going forward, since true sight only pops up every now and again, I'm gonna go ahead and give the advantage on those. When you're invisible and you strike an enemy, even if it can see you, I'll give advantage. However, this is with the double-edged sword that enemies can do that to you as well, okay?
Yep.
If they're invisible and you can still see them, they still get advantage on the strike and you have disadvantage to hit them. So if both of you are invisible and both of you can see each other, because you got blind sight, it cancels out. But that also means you can't gain or lose disadvantage or advantage on the rolls. So a nice, fun ruling for the high-level play.
My question is that then at what point, like, what does blind sight give you against invisibility? That's kind of just where my thoughts are, right? Like,
usually blind sight is very, very limited range, 5, 10, 15 feet. True sight usually goes to hundreds and 50 feet, you know?
But you know what I mean? Like, if
I think
you can see them, but it also doesn't change anything in terms of gameplay, I'm not sure.
But that's just versus invisibility. True sight would see through like illusions, polymorphs and such, right?
Oh yeah. True sight is the big bad daddy. Yeah. Blind sight's a completely different issue. It falls in the same sort of quantifying category. The enemy doesn't need sight, it's not using sight, so that's completely removed from the scenario.
It's just my question is
blind sight's wonky.
If you can see the invisible target, what is the mechanism that is giving that target advantage and giving attacks against that target disadvantage? Because like if
it has to involve an actual sight mechanic. Things have to perceive while relying on sight for these to actually trigger. Blind sight is a creature can perceive its surroundings without relying on sight, so it's not used at all, and you can completely ignore invisibility with blind sight as they don't interact. You have to be able to see for invisibility to kick on. So for blind sight, up till now I've been lazy and I just said forget the advantage and disadvantage. Blind sight just completely removes it from the equation. With true sight, since they're still relying on their vision, the enemy turns invisible. They can still see them, but they're flickering, and you see the magic as well, because the illusion's there and you're squinting to see them. So I'm putting out advantage on that one, essentially. With blind sight, there's nothing to mess you up. Since there's no use of sight, I never use blind sight for that. It's also much more close range. And this is one of those things I only just right now ruled on, right? So keep that in mind, too.
Yeah.
It does give an advantage to invisibility now in the high level of play, and it's a bit of a broken advantage, especially if enemies use it against you, because a lot of devils turn invisible, and I've done it a lot of times in the campaign. But I mean, the party doesn't really have true sight, so that's...
Yeah.
If an enemy's invisible, they're going to get all the good stuff, so that's the way that goes. But for true sight will interact oddly with invisibility going forward, but blind sight will not interact with invisibility. I'm just gonna do it like that, because that's... Otherwise, I'll be working on rules for days.
Yeah.
Back to the game, as the three of you are floating in air and Bellamy is wringing out Duga. Because, I mean, he's literally like 20 pounds of water now. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
The ship itself is in tatters, and repairing a vessel takes a considerable volume of time.
Are we in the water currently? Because I'm hearing water sloshing around.
Oh, I have it playing, because that's where you're all at. I just have it in the background for ocean ambiance sounds. The open ocean.
So how cold are we right now? Because I missed, like, everything, so, like...
Oh,
still in Kenya.
You got me there. I was going to be the next thing I was saying, because the first was Duga being pulled up out of the water. For the two of you presently in the water, as I've previously warned, the water is exceptionally frigid on this lair. Because you're in the 8th of Hell, it doesn't freeze, but the water is certainly well below freezing. But I mean, that's the same for our oceans. Staying in this water for any period of time is going to require a crap ton of con saves. I thought I'd actually get into a couple of those during the fight if I pulled one of you under the water, but gosh darn it, you killed a Kraken in 2 turns. Or 2 rounds, rather. So I didn't get the opportunity. Instead, it's just... I had my fun. It was awesome. But you are 100% spot on, Jillian. You are going to freeze to death in these waters, and you're going to start taking damage. Alec won't. But I mean, at the same time, you can both fly. So it's like, I can go mwahaha, but you've got me.
Yeah.
I imagine we just
there's a couple
floated straight out the belly hole.
No, we would have, but my question is, like, how much water is the boat taking in? And, like, how concerned do we have to be that the boat is going to sink after taking all that damage? That's my biggest concern right now.
Looking upon your vessel, you've never been so happy that it's built around a flying sword. If it was on the water, it would be leaking, it would be sinking, it would be taking on water. But this boat floats just slightly above the water. So that issue isn't too much of an issue. Rough weather, however, your boat's going to take on tons of water. But due to its design, it's going to drain out the boat anyway because it's fairly see-through. It's an airship, right? Right now it's limping and you're floating above the water like a hovercraft. But as of this level of damage, it's almost useless. You'll be limping along with it. The only good thing, which you would realize as the smith on the team, and Jade would realize as the repair person for the ship a lot of the time too, the only positive aspect here is that the broken crystal that's used to propel the ship didn't go under the water. Because when water touches that, it creates little explosions causing it to fly forward. That's how it used to propel itself. If that crystal goes completely under the water, it's going to be a pretty big explosion. I will say if the boat hits 0 health, it loses the ability to fly. As of right now, the boat was at 122 out of its usual 150, so it has 28 points of health left, and if you're looking to repair your vessel, I believe it's 1 point of health a day and 20 gold per day to repair it, and you have to have it docked. Yep. Ship repair. Repairs to a damaged ship can be made while the vessel is berthed. Repairing 1 hit point of damage requires 1 day and costs 20 gold points for material and labor.
That's a lot of days.
Yeah.
Your average airship, and those are the big boys, have 300 health. Your little dinghy has 150 because it's not as small as a keel boat, but it's no long ship. So, it's also not heavily armored and very lightweight for quick movement.
Can mending help to speed up that process? Like the cantrip?
Let me check. I will look for ship repair and mending. Can mending be used to repair a ship?
Well,
As long as
probably
the break or tear.
Small elements, but I don't know if it'd help with structural stuff.
If you repair the damage, it doesn't say anything about restoring health.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Because I know, like, with the Steel Defender, for instance, that's how you heal it.
Oh, exactly. It's built that way. I think it's because of the level of damage. Since mending's only made for a small foot, it's implied that it can't. I'm just taking... do me a favor while we're playing around. Give me... You Google it. Because you're nowhere in a position that you can dock the boat for repairs at the moment. And while the party's planning, give it a quick look up. Because mending doesn't actually restore health, but it can repair. So if someone's made an actual ruling that says it can restore health, I can run with it, but... Otherwise, I'd just say it's part of the ship repair job.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to figure out because one of the lines right in the spell says you leave no trace of former damage.
Exactly, you leave no trace of the damage, but that's... Isn't there a... One second here.
Well, I've recently been playing the Spider-Man game, and if it's taught me anything, is that spiderwebs can fix just about everything and do anything. So, how about Alec just turns into a giant spider and just webs this right up? That works, right?
I took a look into this one. For what I found for the rulings, it seems to be that mending is not powerful enough to meaningfully affect an object as large as a ship, is where I've come for it. There's one here, though, that's a sage advice that Dan just threw up. Let me see here.
They're asking about an infernal war machine, so I figured that works.
Jeff and Dan. things. A simple bent piece of metal isn't something mending can solve, so that's a big problem. Let's see here. They all pretty much say in that one, you really shouldn't be able to. What I found for looking online, a bit of a column here for description, was that due to the fact that the ship is a very large object, it can't do anything powerful enough to meaningfully affect an object as large as a ship. Fabricate, however, that spell specifically repairs 4d12 points of damage plus your spellcasting ability modifier. That's the magical spell you're looking to use if you're looking to repair ships. More mundane methods can also be used to repair ships.
Anybody know Fabricate?
I don't think.
I hope Isaac looks at the druid while he asks that.
Oh god.
Holding sticks in dragon armor, just like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'd love to let mending do it, but it's a cantrip and it's very basic, and everybody online is like, no. Don't let your players overpower it, and I'm like, but their ship's kind of screwed. But Fabricate will do it. Mending would be good for fixing small things, but if somebody like poured acid on the deck of your boat, it's ruined. Fabricate wouldn't do it, and you just had giant Kraken hands tearing it with giant Kraken nails. So it's looking pretty raw.
Yeah, I think like I've always seen mending as like for like it's more of a flavor thing, like repairing armor or torn clothes, maybe a cartwheel at most.
I fully agree. Like I was just kind of hoping, like I didn't actually expect it to work, but
it's small objects,
Still, I mean, it's still more useful than True Strike, so it's got that going for it.
You know, I actually in Wrath of the Righteous, I cast True Strike on purpose, and that's because the Pathfinder version of True Strike's way better than the 5e version. Yeah. It adds 20 to the character's next attack roll.
Oh,
so if you have an enemy who has a super high AC that is really hard to hit, it makes it so you can hit that. It basically guaranteed hit that enemy, right? Like most of the time. Which is really useful in certain fights. So,
Courtney, for Bellamy, as you're landing on the ship. Before I forget, I had mentioned, because last week you had said, "Oh, I'm going to use control weather," and I'm like, "It takes too long, and you're about to be in a fight." The bad guy pops up out of the ocean, and he looks at the DM and says, "I'm going to use control weather," and I'm like, "It takes too long, and you just entered a fight. Have patience." So, I will say, as you're landing on the boat, because I call it the boat now, just because, as you land on your ship, you notice that the weather's getting worse, storm is a-coming, leftover effects of the Kraken's power. It is the control weather effect, or at least one similar to it. You could counter this with your own casting of the spell, and make the weather whatever you'd like.
Okay, I am definitely gonna do that.
Thank you.
So I will find a nice little cozy corner and cast that. What's all this? Oh my god, do I have to roll?
And I'm going to use a slightly different ruling for ship repair. I'm gonna pop that. Whoa, what's all this pop? Oh, control weather. I'm like, what is it doing? It just looks weird.
Yeah, does it ever?
Formatting is going
awful.
crazy.
Okay, I have to roll a d4. Okay, so it takes 40 minutes for it to take effect.
Oh, pardon me. So, over the next 40 minutes, the rain will clear up, the wind will die down, and the waters return to that oddly calm state of affair. I'm still going to leave it looking like this, though, because it's cool. I like the FX, and I can't gradually slow them down. Though I did have fun with the fog earlier. It's like, oh, look, a tiny mini. Nah, big one. That was fun.
Yeah, it's like we just saw its head or something, and it's like, oh, there's the rest of it.
Yeah. I took that from a website. They just do print out pop-up table minis. I'll get their name later. It's on one of my pictures. I just don't want to jump to it at the moment. So as you all settle on board once again, Lulu pops up above deck, looks around. Oh, I swear, what the heck are you all doing up here? You're ruining the boat. I'm just trying to get myself relaxed and all hell breaking loose.
We were just having a cracking old time there, Lulu. Don't worry about it.
Lulu gives her traditional laugh. Nods and says, "No, I'm just playing. I can see what was going on. There wasn't no way I was coming above deck, but that's a good one. Oh, I like that." And she starts going back down deck. Fucking cracking good time. Oh, that's really good.
We almost died. It's good.
And it's around that time you'd notice Gargoth floating down very slowly from the air. He's literally looks like he's standing on the air, by the way, in his audacious state. As he comes down, feet landing on the deck, slowly clapping his hands, smile on his face as he spreads his arms. Well, congratulations are in order, aren't they?
Did you like her handiwork?
And Flux is on a quick be right back. She just holds up a hand. I am not talking to you right now, Gargoth. Perfect timing, love it.
I don't know why it took me so long, but like, you know who Lulu reminds me of? Tree Trunks from Adventure Time.
I've never seen the show, so I can proudly say I didn't rip it off.
Okay.
But I know of it, but I don't know the characters at all. So I can proudly say I have not ripped off that character. I always like to say there's Lulu's inspiration mostly comes from Pinky and the Brain's Pinky. I pull a bit of Pinky into Lulu. That's where I get a lot of her base. Though she is her own unique thing, of course. I have a nice personality. I like her. The book gave me a nice setup for her, and I ran with it. I've also not played the Baldur's Gate game that actually has Lulu, so I don't know how they've portrayed her for real, but I love my little Lulu.
Played that far into
she's-
BG3 yet? Is she in BG3?
I saw her, she had a mini. I didn't know. I thought she was in it. I figured she should be. I mean,
Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm assuming. I haven't played the game, but if it's based in the same place and in the same settings, I thought she'd make an appearance. Because I
Yeah.
think Zariel does, so of course Lulu should. There's the...
you early in the game, you do take a brief jaunt through Avernus. Like, not
Yeah.
like on the ground. You're on an Ithilid ship. And they're running from something else, and they basically do a few plane shifts, like, while they're running. And you eventually get back to the material plane, but you know what I mean? Like, they...
yeah, it's usual go. Baldur's Gate, let's go to different worlds.
But you have a sequence where you actually fight where, like, you're on the ship and, like, the Illithids are fighting devils. And, like, you see the blood war, like, happening in the distance, basically. And you know, I mean, the whole... And you're being chased by red dragons. It's very over the top for where you're level 1 at the time.
Only other thing they need to throw on there is a Beholder, just to make it all legit. Okay, let's toss a Tarsk on top of the team, too. No, they haven't earned that yet. So, as you're on your vessel, I put in a rule there for how to actually fully repair. Gargoth comes down, gives you the congratulations, says quite impressive, you know. Alec made a bad joke. And Bella, she was that spell just right out of your spells, or is that off your magical items?
That's from my violin.
Perfect. Bellamy. I get to play up for a minute on that. It takes 10 minutes for her to cast that spell. So what song is she playing? A nice melancholy strain, something upbeat, Final Fantasy's victory fanfare, you know.
That would get so annoying for if it went on for 10 minutes. Like, that loop.
I'm doing a very lovely rendition of the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
With Duga on the beatbox.
Yeah.
He's using like pieces of the ship to make the beat noise sound because it's really easy. It's just like he taps one and it goes boom boom. He's like, oh, Duga has drums. Boom 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 boom.
Love that.
But that's what Bellamy does for a good 10 minutes at the front of the ship, playing music. Gargoth is like, oh, so wonderful and nice to hear, you know. Yeah. Looks around the ship a little bit in its state, gives his head a shake. I honestly thought it was going to take the ship underwater. Looks like you got lucky. As his lawn chair reappears and he starts to recline back into it, a pair of coconut appearing in his hand yet again.
Yep. So how far away did you see that coming, Gargoth?
A broad smile falls over his face as he lifts up an eyebrow. Oh, it's very rare I am surprised. And I got surprised twice today. It was very pleasant, I must say. Because I didn't see it coming. No, we cut that Titan loose a long time ago. It's its own agent. And to see it just pop up, to fight you all, well, there came the second surprise. You won! That was impressive. And I don't say that often. He gives a wink, takes a sip of his coconut. I thought for sure I was about to be free of my obligations, but you surprised me.
We'll keep surprising you.
He
What do you
gives a
mean we
nod.
cut it loose?
The gods. We were done with it. We cut it loose. It's fairly simple. A monstrosity like that, created in its own form, with such intelligence and rule over the sea. Well, once we were done with it, we set it free. Who wants to try to control something that intelligent? Especially since some would classify as a demigod what you just killed.
I have a question, like a meta question, it's not in character. Are archdevils like Gargoth, are they considered gods? Are they a form of god? Because just where you said we gods set it
Oh yeah,
free, so they're like god level.
yep. Gargoth is most assuredly god level. He's either a demigod or an archfiend or something.
Yeah, I thought, wasn't I? Because my understanding was Asmodeus wasn't originally a god, but became a god, right? Like, that was a thing that happened with him.
Asmodeus has been around for quite a long time. The big things that happened with him was Primus forcing him to carry the stick, so that mortals can always recognize him,
Yeah.
because he'll always have a stick with him.
Yeah.
Because, that's half the fun as a DM when you have an old man show up with a stick. It's like, that's him, just wait. Aha, yeah. I've
I mean,
actually
like-
had a number of times where he almost bumped shoulders with you, but the plot shifted at the last second. But I have to double check. I'm not actually sure when Asmodeus had his crown.
Yeah.
I thought he was an original, though. But Gargoth, he was originally known as Gargoth, and sometimes called Astaroth or Goromoth, Soul Drinker. He was a former archdevil and the Faerunian demigod of betrayal and political corruption.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was cast from hell from unknown reasons, and is considered to be the most depraved of all the devils. Yeah, archdevils. There's a few of them. They're powerful, unique devils. The most powerful archdevils were the Lords of the Nine. So there's Avernus, Dis, Minaros, all the way up to Nessus. Each 9 leaders are powerful monsters in their own right, stronger each time you step up in one, until you get down to the bottom where you got the strongest ones. So you can rest assured, the point I'm getting to here, that the archdevils of Cania are going to be very strong. And Mephistopheles is going to be someone who always is going to have strength up there. You're
My poor,
bumping elbows with gods.
my poor players are they don't realize that the devil they made a deal with, and to be fair, they never inquired, is a banished archdevil who was like Asmodeus, like basically descended him, like took most of his power, and they're on the tail end of this thing's plan to get its power back. The whole idea is that this is a hook for after the campaign's done, if they want to keep playing with these characters, this
Just
guy
like
is
that,
going
though.
to come back. But basically the whole idea is the monster down at the bottom of this dungeon that they like made a deal to try and get to.
Welcome back, Julian.
He's planning on eating it at the end of this whole experience, right?
Not
Because
bad.
he's been using it to cultivate. They've been feeding this thing, basically, like they've been feeding this thing people for like basically hundreds of years now. This monster down in the bottom, and he's like, good. And like the whole idea is all of those souls will go to him.
What's
And-
one
So-
thing that's interesting with Gargoth is he possesses a power no one else ever in Dungeons and Dragons has ever possessed, and it's incredibly overpowered. If anyone wants to
Yeah.
read up on the original meta knowledge, go right ahead. But I'm not going to let it out because it could be spoilers.
It's spoilers. Yeah. Okay.
That's
well,
the
I
thing.
won't look that up.
Because Gargoth is, though, you are bumping elbows with demigods. Because in Faerun, you look in the book and it's like, okay, here's your 9 alignments, here's 9 gods, pick one. There's about 60 some.
So, my players' big problem that they have is they made a deal with this thing that part of the deal they made is we won't willingly harm you and you won't willingly harm us. He's counting on that because it means that when this happens, they won't be able to intervene. And that's the whole point. That's a big part of why he made that provision, right? But they didn't consider, you know what I mean? They didn't consider it. They also unwittingly freed him in the process of what they did too. Because he's in a containment.
Always watch with those wordings, because all a player is,
Oh, yeah.
now we have to. We are unwilling, we don't want to attack you, but now we have to, and they're out of their deal, so. But, I mean, that's...
I explained to them clearly, too, like, the people with religious knowledge, you know devils will, like, they will honor their deals, but they will honor the letter of the deal. They will not honor this, they will honor the letter of the deal. If they can find a loophole that benefits them, they will take it, right? They unwittingly freed him because the thing they gave him in exchange for, like, the thing they needed was the heart of the guy who imprisoned him in the first place. And so the circle he's in, like, because a mage, when he had been brought to the material plane, a mage had imprisoned him in this circle, right? The circle he's in, the only person who can let him out, unless the circle's, like, sabotaged by somebody, like, with knowledge, is the person who created the circle. He now has that person's soul. They don't realize that they basically let this thing out, and he didn't give them any indication. He stayed in the circle when they left because he's counting on them to get down there, right? But it's all, you know what I mean? They don't realize that, like, by taking that option, because they had a few options, by taking that option, they unwittingly let him go. So, it's gonna be fun. Devils are very fun because you can do really mean things to the players, but have it all be, like, technically fair, right? Like... all of these things were things players could have figured out too, right? Like, that's the thing, is they had all the tools were there for them to figure this out. They just didn't, unfortunately. So he's gonna turn into a potentially, like I said, if this campaign gets extended past where because this is original content that I've made, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it gets extended past where the campaign ends, he's going to be something that comes up in the higher levels. So
just hope your players don't watch my D&D feeds, where you just gave it all away.
Oh yeah. That would be really funny if it turns out one of them was watching this. Like,
hang on.
Well,
start watching now. We got the whole plot. Okay, I know how to beat this guy's ass. Hang on, at the 2-minute 20 mark, 2-hour 20 mark. Got it. Okay.
if they did want to fight him in his current state, he's totally fightable. Like he's basically been reduced to a shell of his former self, but once he gets a hold of all the souls, he won't be.
Anybody's fightable in whatever state they're in. It's just a matter of if you care about winning or not.
Oh yeah, it's more that he's...
Don't say that to Flux. You just pop a knuckle, be like, "What do you mean lose a fight? That ain't happening."
It's more that he's gonna jump from being a hard third level encounter to being something that would be difficult at like the 15 plus range. So you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you're all on a boat that's in bad shape, and Gargoth has once again put his out. There it is.
I'm on a boat.
The land is about an 18-hour sail away when your boat was in fine working condition, where it's now lurching against the air. It's moving slower, and the trip will instead take a full 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figure.
And I've got some rules put in there now for actually repairing more than 1 health a day. But you need to have some form of an excuse in your background or features or whatever that you would be able to actually repair. Like, again, I'll point Flux, blacksmith, right? Right there. That's a perfect example. Or someone with tinkerer's tools, or something like that. You can assist in the repairs. Multiple people can work on there. But I will also say, if you're repairing the ship, you can't do anything else that day. That's your activity, and still have long rest.
Yeah, I got nothing. I can't help. I'm tanning.
I mean,
I'll help wherever I can. I'll get to work. I'll roll my sleeves up and get going and do whatever I need to do. But I don't know how much it's gonna help.
I could fix the paint job on the boat.
And that's the unfortunate kick in the teeth, though. As mentioned, the boat's got to be on dry land in order for you to be able to work on it. It has to be not in use. Because you got to get under the ship and around the ship and over the ship. It's the berth, right? Once
Yeah.
it's in a boat like that, you can repair it. But right now, you're at the mercy of the oceans. Well, not really. Bellamy said to the weather, "Hi, I'm Bellamy," and turned it off. 10 points right there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead now because it's been a while. I'm going to turn off the fog and the rain. I said turn off
It
the
is
fog, not make
beautiful
it
and sunny. Oh no, wait, it's nighttime. I'm not tanning.
bigger.
I'm wishing. I'm moon tanning.
If the boat was to be pulled by a sea creature, would they move faster?
At the
Or
risk
would
of
it-
the boat's structural integrity given its
I
level of
was going to
damage.
say it would probably
I
tear
s-
the boat apart.
With the vessels, I've noticed the rules always seem to be in steps of thirds. It's like when it's at the first third of its health, it's fine. When it's at the second third of its health, it's losing speed. When it's at a third of its health or less, all these bad things start happening because it's malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Where this
Yeah.
thing's decimated down to 28 of its 150 health. If you were to lash something onto it and try to pull it along, to increase your speed, you do run the risk of further damage to the ship.
Yeah. That's about the only thing I would be able to do just now. I don't have anything. Well, actually, let's see when you're a kid and you're helping your dad build a shed or something, you just hold the wall while he screws and hammers things in. That's about as much as I can do. I
Passing
could,
nails, holding a flashlight, that sort of thing.
I could summon, like, I don't know, pixies or sprites to try and help speed it up, but they're very small, so I don't know if they'd be able to do that much.
I have proficiency in painting, so I can fix the paint job.
So the ship's gonna look great by the time we're done.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do apologize. Nimbar is not going to be much help preparing this.
No, it's. I wish I had the fabricate spell, because that would definitely help quite a lot.
and honestly, the existence of that spell is the reason why I say mend wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah.
I will say, however, if you want to spend your whole day using your mend spell, helping them while they're repairing the ship, they'll get advantage on the roll.
Okay, that's fair. Like that's something worth doing. Like.
Keeping in mind, each of you who are capable can make a roll to restore health to the ship. One person working alone on the ship. That's what that applies to. If there's 2 of you, 2 rolls. 3 of you, 3 rolls. So long as you have a proficiency that allows you to repair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, assisting with those other abilities is your best bet.
That's Flux and who else can?
Jade, because Jade's always doing our repairs.
I
Also-
do little bits of tinkering and mending, but to actually take like blacksmithing tools and repair, I can do 10 minutes a day, and that's it.
I think he said that tinkering
Oh,
tools
right, the
also
using
would.
thing.
Yeah, I can gain proficiency in any tools for 10 minutes per day.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's basically the excuse for Jade to be out for a while was he was with the boat casting, mending, and steering and stuff.
Mm-hmm. He'd be like
What's his
walking over to
name?
Flux, passing her a hammer. I forgot how to use this. And she goes, "How did you forget how to use a hammer?" He said, "I don't know. I've been using it for 10 minutes and it's gone. I don't know."
What's his name? Duga might be able to help. He's
He was-
The joke was he was assisting for repairs and all that while there was the step out. Let me see what his stats are. Because they were workers for Mad Maggie, but they're also a little bit on the crazy side.
Yeah.
He can make a roll if you want him to do repairs, but it will be at his proficiency. Because he doesn't have much of anything else, and I don't think he has any features for it. But I will say that he has training in blacksmithy tools for repair purposes. But with a proficiency of +2, his roll isn't the best, but Courtney, you can roll for him if you want to at some point. Once you actually know to do the repairing. Because, well, I mean, Dugan, that's Bellamy's little buddy.
Would guidance be of any use, or not because it's over such a long period.
Oh, because guidance gives you boost on rolls. Yeah, no. Not for the full day run. Well, I suppose
Could
you
you
could just
repeat
slap
it,
it on
Guy?
there. Because there's only going to be the one roll, and it's straightforward. Yeah, I'll let guide work.
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever's doing something, I'll guide them.
Yeah. I will use my mending to help give them advantage. Basically, as was the thing to discuss. So.
Alex
So
claims
I'm
he's using
using-
the spell, but he's just folding his arms. No, that's not where Dusty had that. You got to put it up a little higher.
What would I roll for it? I'm proficient with Smith's tools, but I don't know what.
It's
Like, is it,
essentially
like-
like rolling a skill check, except you get your proficiency bonus on top with it. Where it's a smithy, this would just be basically a strength check. So you can roll a strength check to save yourself the step, or an athletics. It's going to be the same dice roll as an athletics check because you're trained in athletics to use your smith tools. Now,
Oh,
that
okay.
would be once the ship's docked, mind you.
Right, yeah.
I can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
You can't effectively enact repairs while in use. And looking at your stats, with a plus 13 on that athletics check, you get an automatic pass if you try to fix this ship.
Well, but you said I can't fix it.
Until it's back on dry land.
So basically, we can't do anything. There's nothing for us to do
Yep.
at all right now until
You're
we get
stuck.
to land.
Stuck on a leaky boat
Well,
that's
then-
moving slow.
I don't know why we talked about it for so
Yeah.
long.
No, it's
Well,
like, yeah.
I guess we're just gonna sit there and see how fast it'll go. That's all we can do.
The trip is 24 hours to get to the nearest land at this point. Oh, Flux isn't flying anymore. I should bring you back to Earth. Shoot. Super Saiyan's over, okay? None of that. None of that. Goku. So then, I basically have you set up here that you've got a 24-hour period, which means you can get a long rest, and if the party has any prep to do or anything like that. Because
Yeah.
one thing I'll note, as you walk across the deck of the ship, as you look down into the water, it's dark, it's calm, and it's quiet. You see nothing drawing near your vessel, and as it moves forward in the distance, Bellamy sees this one first. Since Courtney doesn't like these things in the water, I'm using you for fun. What appears to be shark fins in the distance, big ones. They turn towards your vessel and then immediately turn away, swimming very quickly.
The
Ooh,
king of the
don't
sea
like that.
the king of the sea just died, so they're probably like, oh, nope.
Yeah, or there's something following underneath us. Can I see anything under the ship?
Nothing. The ocean stretching on as deep as you can see, which isn't very far, admittedly, because you know how that works, but staring down into the almost calm, clear water, you don't see even fish. There's nothing within about 300 feet of your boat.
Yeah. I figure a demigod just died. I don't think the sharks are like, you know what? Maybe I can do it though. I have a bite attack.
Like 3 of the sharks like, let's finish off that boat. No, man. No.
Yeah, it's like
You can roll an insight check for Bellamy, or anybody really who's watching, but since I picked Courtney for this one first off, if you wanted to roll insight to see if you can sense the motives of the aquatic life around you. Yeah, good luck on that insight check. 19. With a 19, you're leaning towards essentially everything aquatic is avoiding our ship. Even little fishies. And there weren't very many, but now there's none.
Guys, the fish ran away. I don't know if that's like a thing.
Well, you know how when they say if you ever get sent to prison, find the biggest guy and take them down so everyone stays away from you?
No, I've never heard that. I lived in a very small town.
You see Duga around this point looks side on over at everybody as he pulls his fishing rod up from the water with a bit of a frown on his face.
Can't catch shit.
Sorry, buddy.
Bellamy doesn't know anything about prison. She's not brave, you know.
Yeah.
Bellamy's like,
She
Dex
hasn't
tried to take me in once.
been actually put on trial.
Yeah.
Hold on a second here. What's that, charisma of yours, a 19? Yeah. Bellamy's like, prison? Pretty people don't get sent to jail.
It's true. I'm
Oh,
pretty
wait.
and I'm nice.
Charisma check on that one. The guard's like, you did this, and she's like, no, that person did, and she's free.
No, that was Brie.
Oh god.
That was, oh my god. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
in our other game, we had an actual trial. So.
No.
Because I desecrated a temple.
No! It's not just the desecration, it's also the attempted murder as well.
Yeah,
And the assault.
I also tried to kill a priest.
Yeah.
That's not bad. My other team that I stopped playing, they did Waterdeep, and you all have done Waterdeep. Well, most of you have done Waterdeep. Well, half of you have done Waterdeep with me, I think now. It's
No, I
not dwindled.
think-
If none.
No.
Shit. Not many.
Here we
Waterdeep,
go.
as you all know, is pretty fun. It's got 4 settings, 4 seasons, an amazing,
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite 5th edition campaigns. And partway through the spring or summer one, I can't remember which it was, with a different team, near the end of the campaign, while I'm doing a chase sequence through an alleyway, 10-foot wide alleyway with a wicked chase sequence, it was really awesome. The wizard's like, no, you know what, I got a necklace of fireballs, I'm popping one off, then this is over.
Oh god.
And I repeat, you're shooting a necklace of fireball, 35-foot radius, in the back alley of a residential area where there's shopkeepers and things are open, and the player basically says, did I stutter? And I'm like, okay.
Oh Jesus!
So they killed
Love
like
that chaotic energy.
blew the walls out of buildings because they're small
Evil,
shitty
that's
buildings.
not good. Like,
The player wasn't even evil. That's the thing. They were just like, no, I have to stop them. I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay. Well, here's the thing. If you ever get your hands on the Waterdeep book, or you look online on the campaign and all that, if you flip to the very back of the book, it lays out the charges against you for doing crimes. And short of killing a noble, nothing's going to send you to jail if you have money, which they did.
yeah.
So I got to do one session that was a big trial, and it ended with me basically saying, okay, here's your fees. Because they were found guilty, but it was pretty epic. So yeah, fireball, middle of town, killed lots of people, destroyed lots of building, shopkeepers, lots of money needed to be spent. That's my personal... And the team was sort of like, oh shit, we didn't think of any of that. And I'm like, I warned yous. And they're like, you did? Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn.
If only the DM had explicitly warned us that this was a problem.
Yup. Oh well.
But,
It's
by the
totally
way,
unrealistic. It's not like you can just buy away your problems if you're rich in the real world. Oh no, wait.
That was sort of the underline at the very end of all of it was, if you want, your character can even feel a little jaded because you've learned that money does indeed solve all your problems in this world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it actually does, but if you give me some money, I'll let you know.
We'll find out. That's why the name's only Jade for him. He's not fully jaded. I didn't even realize I was making a bad pun to begin with, and then I just ran with it.
by the way, I posted a video of how Bellamy got out of going to prison.
I was half oh yeah, the people of the Dirt League. I was half expecting it to be the cop pulls her over and says, "Wow, how high are you?" She looks, goes, "No, it's hi. How are you, officer?" The officer blinks a few times. He's like, "I'm pretty good. How are you?" She goes, "Hi, I'm Bellamy. I'm great. You have a good one," and leaves.
Yeah.
And I'm stealing that from a commercial I saw actually, so you know. But I figure if it's Bellamy in the middle of town and a cop's coming up to her, she's probably like tanked. She's called the trouble. Otherwise, with charisma like that and the way your stats roll for charisma, you'll usually dance out of trouble, literally. But I'm digressing. So it's pretty obvious the party's got a day for your long rest and for your good stuff. And sorry, Dean, did you have something there?
I was just going to ask if we can hit the long rest button, but you answered my question.
Yep.
And we're headed towards like a hike, like a trek.
A full day to get to the next area, and from here on out, there's no more water. You've made it to the central continent. Once on foot,
Okay.
you've got like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think I said 10 day, to actually physically travel to Mephisto's lair itself. So this is the last time you'll be on water for a little while.
We should probably
Okay.
repair the boat once we make land.
The big thing is, I just want to hit that long rest button because my highest level spell slot currently available is level 4.
by all means, I will say it because sometimes I like to give the spoiler. Throughout the night, nothing happens. You have a nice, casual, long rest. And if you'd like, unless anyone has something they needed done or plot, I can move forward the day and we can go to landing.
I'm just gonna take a quick moment to prepare, to swap out a couple of prepared spells.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
just going through my spells.
Yep. Feel free to give yourselves the process. We'll give it a couple minutes while you're all getting set. And I am going to go a full day into the future now.
Now, you were saying like if we won this fight, we'd get a level.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen?
As of your long rests, you are all officially level 18. Congratulations.
Oh.
You
Yay!
finally
Yay.
get that new level, and you're so much closer to level 20. In 1493 DR, the year of the Purple Dragons, on the 21st of Uktar, level 18 was acquired.
Ooh, spell mastery.
I think
Yeah.
I think shield for my current choice because that's just good.
So can we level up now, or
Yep.
would you rather us do that later?
Oh, you can do your level ups now. I don't anticipate you'll have time to get into another fight. I don't think you'll get that far in what I have planned, because I still have a bunch planned. I mean, that's half my fun. So, if you wanted to say, yay, I'm level 18, but I'm doing it after the game, you can get away with that. There's no crazy immediate rush, as they say.
We're not likely to run into anything that demands us to have everything yeah.
The DM biffed 2 ancient white dragons and a kraken at you all at the same time. Like, at this point, you've got a minute of rest. I'm
Yeah.
not even that mean.
I was gonna say that would be kind of come on, all right, come on.
He'd have Nimbar rubbing his chin. How can I best use a 4th level spell here?
Yeah. I I'm a little tapped.
The what is it? The feature for what's it called? Level 18 for wizard is so cool though.
I think
There's
the
a lot
only
of nice things.
that Alec would do would be to check in with Flux and see if everyone's cool with how the dragon fight went down.
After raging at a kraken.
I mean, Flux has always kind of worn her feelings on her sleeve, so she would just tell you like, yeah, there was no honor in that fight. I didn't feel like participating, but I understand why you did what you had to do. Protecting us is important. So if the surest way to protect us was by defeating a dragon, even if there is no honor in it, I can understand why it was a necessity.
Gargoth pulls his head up from a side crate, one of Nimbar's, sorry John, as he has what looks like a little drink in there, some nice wine. As he looks over, he's like, honor's overrated. You should be more like me, just go for the throat. And then walks back up the stairs.
Yeah, see, he's the reason why honor's important. You see.
An exception proving Flux's rule, as they say. There's that little underline. Lulu,
I know.
however, for the most of this, has been slightly uncharacteristic. Most of her time has been spent curled up almost like a little puppy beside Zariel's ice form. She's still approachable, answers any questions when you bring them up, but you can definitely tell she's in a bit of a sad mood and she's just staying near her friend.
Were you gonna say something before that, Dean?
No, I think Alec would just nod, and then hold out his hand for a fist bump.
Lulu gives
She bumps him for sure.
with her forehead, just bop right on the fist, and she goes, "Oh." You can tell her spirits are still good, but her concern for her friend has sombered her mood for once.
Yep.
She doesn't have her normal level.
Yeah. Well,
And
Flux
Dean.
will
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I was just gonna say, like, Flux will probably just sit with Lulu whenever she has downtime as they're traveling, just to keep her company. Not to say anything, just to sit with her.
And Lulu is very much the sort who's fluffy and cuddly, so the second you're sitting down beside her, she just lean on you instead. Still quiet, it's just like, you know, a cat coming up and cuddling you, that sort of concept. Lulu just flops on your on the side of you. Except she's a mini elephant, so you considerably feel her more. Quite heavy.
I scratch behind her ears because I know she likes that.
Oh yeah. The little bit of comfort you bring Lulu goes a long way for her mood. She's certainly concerned for Zariel, but, as I've mentioned, because Alec was concerned for getting her healed up, without access to a major alchemy area or wizardry tools or stuff like that, you weren't really able to do much for her. Back on your ship as you presently are, and since there's 2 wizards on there, you definitely have some modicum of tools and things at your disposal now that you might be able to further look into what's going on, but it's going to be really high DCs because you don't got much of anything in here, you know what I mean? You don't actually have an alchemy repair station on here or a brewing area or something like that. You just got below deck storage.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll give it a go. Anyway, I may as well try and help while I have the time.
Perfect. It's going to be your medicine check.
Okay.
But if you can think of anything to help boost it, now would be the chance. Or if anybody else has ideas.
Right. Well, I have. I'm proficient in a herbalism kit, and I have one, but I don't know if that actually brings anything to the table.
It's kind of like your medicine check. You get your proficiency since you have the tools and you have some of the abilities. But we can use that to change the DC with the herbs and all that. It gives you more to expose. I can include that as I'm building for the info. Like what you do right now for a clergy house to just pop into and be like, hey, can I borrow some crap? We need to scan.
Yep. See, I've got the herbalism
You can borrow
kit.
whatever you want, just don't ask me where I got it.
I'm not attuned to it or anything, but I have a cauldron of rebirth. Maybe if I mix something up in that, because it like lets things be reborn and healed, maybe that might do something as well.
Combining it with your herbalism kit and capacity, you would be able to create paste or some form of goop, or maybe you take a little piece of the ice that's actually encasing Zariel and put it in and mix it around. So that can also be used to increase the status and the chances and such like that.
Okay. So herbalism kit, cauldron of rebirth. I have a bag of unicorn dust.
Unicorn dust.
Yeah.
Unicorn dust.
That
I
sounds
don't know why I have that, but
Do
it's
you?
in my inventory.
we got that from Mahadi and Bell, the blacksmith in Avernus took it from us.
Did we give that away?
Yep, it was
Yeah,
one of the
he
fetch
took
quests.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, fetch quest, that's what that was. You can describe it
Yep.
as such, right? But yeah, he took the unicorn
All
dust. This was after Mahadi
Okay.
shaved it off the unicorn's horn and then told the party, you need to regularly do this to unicorns, their horns keep growing forever. And the druid's like, there's nothing about this is okay.
I have. I could use a potion of healing as a base for whatever I'm making. It's healing magic.
Okay.
That might do something. I think that's pretty much all the interesting stuff I've got in my inventory. I'm
Alright.
still choosing my spells, so I don't really know what I can and can't use, but I'd probably just stick to those like material things just now.
And it's safe to say while you're doing that, one or both of the wizards would have noticed because, well, the ship's in pieces. You look around, you see everybody. You see poor Duga downstairs having a shower, he just gives you a glare and he's like,
Any loving privacy?
You know, that sort of thing. It's up to the wizards. If either of you wanted to assist, you could throw you could give an Arcana check with his check as he goes.
I would
Either
be
we can.
assisting.
Essentially.
All right.
So, give me your Arcana checks first. Oh, those are nice purple. I like those. Good, pretty nice.
Flux will offer to put a little bit of spark of energy into the cauldron. Like, you know, kind of like Frankenstein's monster. Like,
You will breathe lightning into it to combine your power as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
yeah.
And Bellamy's coming down on deck after putting her violin away. She goes, "Oh, we're gonna have some good weather now, everybody." Your song just finishing up as you get to see this happen. That way, everybody's all in the same spot, except maybe Jade. God knows what he's doing. He could be hanging off the front of the boat upside down and enjoying the ride. It's high agility, crazy ass rogue person.
Oh no, I'd be there because whatever check he makes, if it's skill related, I can go. I assist now.
Ah, perfect. So he gets advantage on the roll then. Alright then, with all these things stacked and everything good to go, give us a roll. Dean, give us a roll.
And this is for medicine, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And Kieran, if you wanted to roll for Isaac as well for his Arcana check.
Okay, sure. I thought it was just giving advantage. Sorry.
Oh no,
Oh no,
it's modifying a lot of the background.
John automatically gets an advantage.
Oof.
Yeah.
He's still got an 18. Oof. Oh yeah.
Okay.
John gets the advantage. Isaac rolls an 18, still blows it out the water for what he needed to do with a bloody 1. Look at that plus 17. Look at that. That's nice.
Okay, even though I have a question.
Yep.
Even though I'm assisting with his medicine check, can I still make the Arcana check?
Nope. You can
Okay.
do one or the other.
No, I'll assist him, give him advantage.
Isaac
Okay.
has expertise in Arcana, so
Yup.
he actually gets like the double proficiency.
It's so nice. It's nice to see those high numbers just thrown up out of nowhere. Alrighty. With a 25 on your medicine check, as you are working on this and mixing things in, you break off a little piece of the ice to examine it. One of the wizards would lean in and be like, "Oh no, look, that's actually ethereal magic based off of and then the other wizard would be leaning in, "Oh, but this is definitely a little bit of chronal time magic mixed in with that too. You see where it mixes it?" This would happen with everybody giving their piece. And every few minutes, Flux would just right into the pot, just a big blast of electricity over and over. And Alex, like, that is the easiest way I've ever seen to break this down. This is so nice. What you're able to determine with your big bad 25, knocking it out the park with all the extra add-ons and features. The ice encasing Zariel is greatly slowing whatever process this was, and seems to be an extension of her celestial magic itself, the very essence of her being, which might explain why she now looks like an elven woman instead of Zariel. All of her angelic power was used to create the ice that is encased her. You could, in fact, if you had access to an alchemy shop or a wizard's lab or something of that sort, you could, in fact, increase the potency considerably of Zariel's magic and basically freeze her, making it so that the corruption, the blackened crack that forms through her torso, would stop or be slowed to such a point that it would not be nearly as a concern if you had access to a true laboratory.
To be right back. Sorry,
Sure thing.
quick.
Interesting.
At present, given the rate of growth of the black mass, you'd give her a week before she's gone.
So, would I could use the lab to basically make the ice colder? Is that like, or not colder, but like kind of
To refortify and
Boost
increase
it.
the base power underneath the magic, using alchemical supplies, bathing the ice in these liquids, you can increase and refortify the magic that's slowing the rate of decay exponentially to the point it's almost stopped. So you could pause the problem.
right?
Short of actually...
Would I...
What? Sorry?
Okay, I was just going to say, I've got like the frostbite cantrip, right? So
Using that...
I don't think it'll work, but
Using-
maybe I could like try and extend it a little.
Any cold-based spells will double the time, so long as they're used once a day, every day.
Yeah,
so you
well,
give
I
her
could
14
just like
days.
sit and focus on. Yeah, I could just do that. Like, okay.
The other thing that you can quite perfectly tell after all this testing and all this work, because you managed to scrape just a little bit of that black gunk, whatever it is, and examine it. As you scoop it away and finally catch it, it turns from ice, because it's frozen underneath it, to blackened smoke pooling in your hand, falling to the floor before dissipating.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff that we keep seeing.
And on top of that, with all these incredible magic jumps and all these incredible examinations, you can now quite assuredly confirm what's happening here is there is a second soul attempting to take over Zariel's body, as Lulu confirmed, and Zariel is losing the fight. The only way to save her would be to find a way to get in there, to the same plane that their souls sit on, and help her. That kind of magic, though, is rare and strong. You know of one person, right away would come to mind, who has those sort of powers. Mad Maggie. Fortunately, she's not on this plane of hell.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. I was on mute.
Okay.
Oop.
And as far as we know, all our kind of like plane shifting spells don't work here. Like,
You would need
once
to
we
have
can cast.
some form of way to literally go inside Zariel's mind and help her
Right.
fight back.
Right, yeah. And Mad Maggie's like fireside ritual.
All
Does
those sort
that.
of things. So unless the wizards, or you can think of something crazy at some point, you might have to find help in hell. I only say the people who are capable of doing these things that you've bumped into as a reference point, you know.
Yeah.
But she is having a spiritual fight right now, and she is definitely losing. Whatever spirit she is fighting is strong enough to take down a planetar. So, you know. Or a solar, rather.
I wonder if Wish could do it. Wish, so that way we could go in and help, maybe?
I know there's a
Nimbar
couple of
says as he rubs his
spells
jaw.
that affect dreams, but as far as I know, they don't. It's more like sending messages to dreams.
Yeah, like this is going into their, more or less, going to another realm to fight a soul, to fight for a soul. Like, it's gonna be high level stuff there.
Two souls. Can anyone think of anything like from the when we were trying to redeem her? Like, is there any kind of no? Because we redeemed her soul, so I can't even think of like a past self.
She got
Or
hit by like something like a turbo charisma roll.
Yeah.
But who's to say that the grip of Avernus is not stronger than that? Maybe,
Yeah.
despite being redeemed, part of her soul wants to continue being the Lord of Avernus, and is thus fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
The Sword of Avernus isn't sentient, is it? She's not been using that for so long that it's part of her.
Zariel's blade itself does contain a fathomable amount of her power. They are in that regard linked.
I don't know if we covered this, but was it possible to use mending to repair the sword? I know it can't restore the magics, but her sword was shattered.
You mean like piece by piece, kind of jigsaw it with mending?
Yeah, put it back together with mending. So it's a complete sword again. I know I can't restore the magics.
It'd be a longsword. It wouldn't really be very functional, and it wouldn't be very... You'd repair the damage done to the blade itself, but the magics still quite ruined. You could attempt, but looking at the blade itself, it's not quite steel. It looks almost like Damascus steel with the twists and the turns and the chains and all that go through. So if you were to restore it, it would function as a regular everyday longsword with no special features. All of its magical energy has been drained. In fact, that's probably one of the reasons why Zariel's protections of herself didn't work as well as she might have hoped, or why she might be losing the fight. Because of how closely connected her power was to that sword.
That's what I was thinking. So if we start restoring the sword, we might be able to restore her power.
Lulu would confirm that yes, indeed, that sounds very logical. The power of these angelic beings is bound to their sword. That's why she didn't destroy it for so long. She wanted to, she just couldn't bring herself to do it.
And when the sword was broken, Gargoth absorbed like remnants of the power from it?
Yep. Yep, you saw Gargoth steal another being's power. I did mention that Gargoth has the most frightening ability I've ever seen in all of Dungeons or Dragons, right? And that was it.
It's fortunate.
Oh yeah.
Is Gargoth physically there?
Yeah, he's chilling on top of
Does
that.
he have a... But like, does he have a... It's not like just an illusionary body, like he has physical form.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely has physical form. The picture I have on his character is him. That's what he looks like. Exactly like that. Like I say, somebody on Reddit was like, I paid someone to draw Gargoth. Check this out, everyone. And I was like, you're my hero today. Because I needed him. There's another shot of him too, but you haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. I didn't know if maybe it was like a Sauron while he was reforming kind of a deal. Like he has a presence, but it's not 100% there. Maybe he's trying to get her body.
Yeah, but that would like require some form of magical item to be a communing form for him to be able to speak through, like a giant golden shield. Oh, right. It was exactly like that until you freed him. So you're spot on. That's exactly how it works. But he does have physical form. True, he does physically exist. A lot of gods, though, as you are aware, can take physical form and be slain and simply reconstitute. So that may not mean anything that he's physically here, you know? You're striking on very deep theological questions on the nature of power. I could actually answer them, specifically for this guy, but spoilers.
Yeah. For gods to be properly slain, they kind of have to, like, the conditions have to be right, kind of thing. Like, because gods, some gods died when the gods were made mortal. But, like, that was, you know what I mean? That was explicitly, like, a thing that caused gods to die in the Forgotten Realms, right? Like,
and you see, like, Nimbar nodding his head. Those times sucked, man. I lost my magic.
Yeah.
I had to relearn. Again, it sucks. Oh, because he's the only character who would have lived through that. The spell plague and the fall of the gods.
God, that's happened more than once, hasn't it? Because I'm thinking of it, because my brain wasn't on the Spell Plague. My brain was on, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but this was pre-Spell Plague. This was, like, back when Baal had died. And
Yeah.
Cyric, the god of murder and stuff like that.
Like the time of troubles. Or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yep, that's what it is. The gods were made mortal and forced to walk the earth.
Spell Plague's its own little thing. It's a little different,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But it falls into the same cataclysmic horror, so.
Essentially what happened is every
Not
time
fun, let me tell you.
when there's a new edition, and they want to like make changes to the to the mythology of the world, they have to have some sort of excuse for like why some of the gods are different now and why magic works different now and so forth. So inevitably, every time this edition, Forgotten Realms goes through some horrible cataclysm that changes everything.
So,
This is
I just now noticed we're at the 2 o'clock mark. So, before we jump off for today, time's a little tight for me, I have to be honest. I gotta quickly
Yeah, that's
process
fair.
some stuff before we leave off for today. Because your ship's making your way over there, there's nothing further you can do for Zariel. You all have to make yourselves level 18s, and you gotta prep your spells. I
did
will
so.
go ahead and give you a preview of what you're seeing next week as you make it to land. With cliffs, steep, sheer, strong, and tall, surrounding all of what you can see. You find one area that you're able to bring your ship up to and draw land. And between all of the various mountain ranges, cliffs, and faces, you can see a gigantic chain running from what appears to be a pathway leading to it, to the ruins, or at least the openings of some form of civilization. And as you are docking, Gargoth gives a big smile, looks towards you all and says, Oh, you lot are really gonna love this next place we're going. Everybody, off the boat. And I'll leave you with that lovely preview image for next week.
It doesn't have any handrails. What if we fall off?
goddamn
doesn't seem very safe.
Star Wars infrastructure.
By the way, I ended up taking Fabricate as one of my spells.
There you go. Yeah.
I got some repairs to do.
I took Shape Change and Delayed Blast Fireball. The second of which, there's a very good reason I took it, which you could probably guess.
I can see how this goes. Jillian,
Yeah.
before we jump off, I can make a really good joke with Flux on this one. Jillian, I can see Flux sitting there after one day of repairing the ship, right? It's like stretching her arm, moving it around, adjusting her shoulder, like, oh god, I hope I don't have to kill anything tonight. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to wield a blade. My arms are killing me, so much work. And Nimbar's like flipping through books as fast as he can. Don't worry, I'm going to help. I'm going to make this easier. That's the
I
only
was
excuse
gonna
I can
take
think.
Dimension Door, but then I was like,
funny.
teleporting here is really
Yeah.
weird. So then I was like, I'm a polymorph because that sounds like a lot of fun.
I unprepared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I took Shape Change because you can still cast spells while using Shape Change.
Oh, nice.
So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's the big difference between true polymorph and shape change is that like true polymorph, like there's some distinctions, but one of them is that shape change, while you can't like just use it on an enemy, for example, if you can maintain your class features while shape change,
Very
including
strong.
spellcasting.
Like that silver dragon the other day for Alec. It was
Yeah.
real nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty then,
I
everyone.
also now have a maxed out 20 charisma, and I
Oh.
can't roll below an 18 persuasion.
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
Boom.
Wait,
I'll
how
do
did
it-
your charisma? How did it go up this level though?
Because she multi-class, so she would have gotten an
that,
API.
I forgot
Yeah.
that ASIs
Yeah.
are based on. Yeah, because in older editions, the ASI was based on your total level and not on your individual level, so that's why I was confused.
So,
And I took a feat to help get it up there.
oh yeah, get that 20 on the charisma. Naturally
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Yeah.
I will say for next week, I will jump on early Saturday or late Saturday and re-import all of your characters at level 18. So just if you could have them updated in D&D Beyond, I'll have them updated in here to make life easy.
I forgot to mention this in the correct server. I am probably not going to be able to make next week because I'm going to be that day probably coming back from Anning and Esh. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. If you end up if you can't make it and you do manage to make it back, but you're going to be a little late, by all means, feel free to jump on. But it is a long drive.
It's unlikely because I'm probably gonna be taking the bus back.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
getting
won't
a drive
go back
there,
for a while.
but I'm probably taking the bus back, so it's not gonna. Like I'm probably even canceling my evening game because I'm gonna be so tired.
Oh yeah.
So
Long drives will do it, especially on buses. Oof. Alrighty then, everyone. If anyone has any questions while you're bumping up to level 18, feel free to send me a DM. I can answer any questions for that or give any information or advice on it. Beyond that, though, I will see you all next week, and everybody keep kicking ass. Yeah.
See ya.
See you
Thanks
next
for
week.
the game.
Thanks for the game.
Yeah, thanks, Alan.
Later, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
As they say in Dumbarton, hubby.